It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Addison Thormeyer from Farwell High School. With a 3.7 GPA, Addison is a member of the track and field and cross-country teams and played soccer for travel teams competing up in age with girls and playing with the boys.
Oh, I should go try out for the boys team. Like, why not? Because he was the coach for that team. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, worst thing that happens is they don't make the team. So I go and try out, and he ends up calling me and saying, hey, I want you to come play for me. And it became a lot of fun, ended up being a totally different experience than playing with the girls, and one I don't regret having.
This fall, Addison is now attending Saginaw Valley State University. She'll major in electrical engineering. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
I'm here with Matt Smith with Modern Realty. All right, Matt, forecast 2025 for us.
Well, in 2025, I believe you're going to see a much more balanced market. We've been in a seller's market for a number of years. We're still not busting at the seams with inventory, but we are seeing the market start to balance out a little bit. That means it's still a really good time to get great value out of your home. But for the buyers out there, it also means that your path to home ownership should be a little bit easier.
Into the end zone.
The Michigan State Spartans.
Touchdown, MSU.
Heard right here on the Great Lakes Bay Region's home for sports.
The Spartans playing late night on Saturday out at the LA Coliseum facing the Trojans of Southern Cal. MSU, USC, kickoff at 11 p.m., presented by Weiss Equipment.
Don't miss a moment of Spartans football on Sports Radio 100.9.
Let's give them what they want.
Do it!
100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think the Lions ran up the scoreboard on Ben Johnson on purpose to rub it in. I think the Lions' defense is just scratching the surface on becoming a dominant top 10 unit. I think Bryce Underwood is a future Heisman winner, but not quite yet. And I think Tarek Skubal is less than a month away from becoming the best Tigers pitcher of the 21st century. Oh, and I think if you agree or disagree with anything I just said, you should listen to The Ben Bosscher Show, live from 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt, built by Bresky Siding and Repair.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Michigan. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show on a Wednesday, which means Big Win Wednesday, thanks to our friends at Carp Chevrolet. Today, we're giving away Detroit Tigers tickets for their very last regular season home game of the year this Sunday against the Atlanta Braves. So we're going to be sending someone to that game. It's Fan Appreciation Night, thanks to our friends over at Garber Chevrolet. That's coming up at 10:15. All you got to do to win that is text in the keyword to 989-837-6125. Got an hour and 15 minutes. We'll give you the keyword. You got to text it in, and then we'll give you about a half hour to text it in. All right, with that being said, let's start out with some good news. Casey Mize looks pretty good last night. Casey Mize ends up striking out 8 Guardians. 8. That's been the struggle throughout Casey Mize's career, right? Can he get the swing and miss? Well, yesterday he had 16 swing and miss pitches, and his signature pitch that has more so become a negative than a positive for this Detroit Tigers team, that splitter, it was in full effect yesterday. He was getting a ton of people to swing and miss with that splitter. It was an all-around good performance for Casey Mize. They kept him in one inning too long. He trots back out there in the 6th inning and gives up a couple runs. A lot of that is because of Spencer Torkelson's, I don't want to call it an error because it didn't go down as one, but just a total brain fart moment for Spencer Torkelson that ended up moving a runner over to third. That guy would eventually score. Hey, let's just jump into it right now. Spencer Torkelson, if you look at the box score, 4 for 5 with a home run. Home run came in garbage time. But just 2 boneheaded mistakes for Torkelson. One, actually both of them defensively. One of them didn't go down as an error. It hit off his glove, bounced off the dirt. It would have been a tough play. There's a reason it didn't go down as an error. But the other one, where he gets a ball hit to him deep into, where he usually is hanging out over at first base, and just insists on Casey Mize running over to first and throwing it over to him. And because Casey Mize isn't even expecting it to happen, they don't end up getting the runner out. It's an infield single. Torkelson easily could have gotten to first base if he would have just put his head down and ran to the bag rather than insisting Casey Mize comes over and covers. Runner ends up safe. Runners advanced. Casey Mize ends up giving up a couple runs because of what happened there. Spencer Torkelson, you owe Casey Mize a beer. And with that being said, even with the heroic effort from Kerry Carpenter, a 2-run shot to tie things up, the Tigers end up losing because Will Vest gives up 4 straight extra base hits in extra innings. Isn't that supposed to be the strength of the team, right? It's the thing we've always talked about. If the Tigers can get a lead late in these games, you trust Finnegan and you trust Vest to take care of business. Yesterday, Vest could not be trusted. Tigers end up losing. The Guardians take a game up, so now they're only 5.5 games out of the Detroit Tigers in the AL Central. That win percentage for the division is down to 97.7%. And I say down like that's a terrible number, but look, here's the reality of things, guys. The Tigers are 12-13 in their last 30 days. The Tigers are 26-27 in the past 60 days. This has been a 500 ball club for 2 months. They got off to that scorching hot start, got to 20 games over 500, and they've basically been sitting there ever since. Some days are better than others. Some weeks are better than others. But for 2 straight months, they've been a 500 ball club. And if the one strength of this team, those closers, Vest and Finnegan, if they're not going to be able to come through, I don't know how I'm supposed to sit here and say this team's going to the World Series. I just don't get it. It feels like this team lacks an identity other than we're going to hustle on the base paths. And that has gotten the Tigers a long way. I don't mean to, throw that out the window like it's not anything, because it is. They're more aggressive than any team on the base paths, and it's not even close. They turn singles into doubles. Torkelson did do that yesterday. They get from first to third. They do all the fun, gritty Detroit Tigers stuff. But here's the problem. They've been a 500 club for 2 months, and this Guardians team is red hot. They've won 10 of their last 11 games. We deemed this series a must-win for the Detroit Tigers, which means today is a must-win game, because if you lose today, you lost the series. And then you got to play Atlanta, and guess what? You're playing Cleveland again, who's one of the hottest teams in baseball, despite somehow having the second worst OPS across Major League Baseball. I don't get it. Everyone talks about the Chiefs' voodoo magic from last year, how they kept winning all those one-score games. The Guardians ranked 29th in OPS, 29th across the league, and somehow are still in this thing. They knocked down the Tigers yesterday. Now it's down to a 5.5 game lead. A month ago, it was 11.5. It's not that the Tigers are falling apart. It's that they've been average, and that has allowed the Guardians to climb themselves back into this playoff race. So now we're sitting here with Jack Flaherty on the mound, and it really is a must-win game. You lose today, you lost the series, it's 4.5, and you play Cleveland 3 more times. Meanwhile, Cleveland gets to play the Minnesota Twins, who are terrible, for 4 games after this. And the Tigers are going to have to play Boston to close out the year. It's not looking amazing right now for the Tigers, right? It's been a fantastic year. But if they blow this division, that would be one of the most gut-punching things, gut-wrenching things to happen to this team over the past decade and a half. What was the point of the 20 games over 500 if they're going to blow it? And I'm not expecting them to blow it. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not sitting here saying, fear the Cleveland Guardians. Here they come. But like I said, they're scorching hot right now. 10 of 11 games, the Tigers are an average ball club. Torkelson can't pull his head out of his butt at first base. I love the Gleyber Torres bomb. I love Casey Mize putting together a really good outing, his third straight one, and he doesn't pick up the win. But that's not his fault. I would say that's on Vest, and that's on Torkelson. This was a big game last night. A huge game for this Detroit Tigers team in order to just put the narrative to bed that they were going to blow this division. You could have just put it to bed, moved on. You got Skubal on the mound on Thursday, and you would have felt good about winning this series. Now I'm looking at this game today as if you don't win this game, we are actually going to start to panic about losing this division. And if you lose this division, you get that cold down the stretch. Forget the World Series. Like, man, we talked about yesterday, are you worried about blowing the division? I'm worried about, like, surviving a playoff round at this point, because if Vest is going to pitch like that, Tigers have no chance. It's Skubal and everybody else. Mize has put together three straight good starts, but, man, it's just an inconsistent ball club. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. It's not. It's a 500 ball club, because that's what they've been for 60 days, and it is infuriating as a fan who sits here and watches them every single day. They needed to win last night, and it felt like Kerry Carpenter was going to put on the cape once again, and they were going to come out on top. Vibes were going to be high. We were going to be doing a great show, talking about how, hey, that was nerve-wracking for a while, but Kerry Carpenter once again comes through, the Guardians killer, hits that 2-run bomb late with 2 outs in the 9th, and suddenly we're sitting here talking about how Vest pulls the rug out from under them. A very unfortunate loss for the Tigers yesterday. That was their biggest game of the year up to date. And I know we've said that 1,000 times throughout the summer. Really, you can only say it 162 times. But we've said it a lot throughout the summer. This series actually is starting to mean something. There's a lot of pressure on this Tigers team. They only have a 5.5 game lead in the division. Cleveland's red hot. The Tigers are not. They only have a 2-game lead over the Mariners for that second first-round bye. The Mariners are red hot. The Tigers are not. It's plain and simple. Are you worried about this Detroit Tigers team? Are they anything more than an average ball club? Because the last 60 days would suggest otherwise. The last 60 days would suggest that is exactly what they are. An average ball club. I don't want to believe it. I really don't. But that is what they're making us believe right now. They're not showing us that they're anything more or less than that. That's the unfortunate part. The fortunate part is Tarik Skubal is on the mound on Thursday. He has destroyed the Guardians. Jack Flaherty's on the mound today. He has destroyed the Guardians. So they can put this narrative to bed the next 2 days and say, you know what? Tough loss on Tuesday night. We win the next 2, and we essentially wrap up the division. Now, you could have actually wrapped up the division tomorrow. A sweep against Cleveland this week would have meant AL Central champions for the first time since 2014. They lose game 1, it's not going to happen. But they can give themselves an all but guaranteed chance to win the AL Central if they can win the next 2 tonight. Once again, it's a must-win series. A lot of pressure on the Detroit Tigers these days. It was a fun first half of the season for this team. Now it feels like there's a tremendous amount of pressure mounting on A.J. Hinch and the pitching staff and the bats to come through tonight against Cleveland, who somehow, someway, has won 10 of their last 11 games despite having one of the worst offenses in baseball. I don't understand that part, but you have these guys that just come through time and time again in Naylor, in Ramirez. He's the real killer. Steven Kwan has just been a demon against this Tigers team for a year and a half. They've got some good bats. but they've got a lot of below average ones too. This is not a very good team, but somehow they are pulling out wins left and right. Does that remind you of anybody? Kind of reminds me of the 2023, 2024 Tigers, the end of the season. All right, I want to know what your worry level is with this Tigers team. Yesterday was a big game. They don't come through. Vest actually implodes on the mound in the 10th inning. Tough watch down the stretch. 989-837-6125. That's the Mitt message line. We've got the YouTube chat going as well. Should be a fun show. Like I said, Big Win Wednesday. We're giving away Detroit Tigers tickets later on in today's show. About 10:15, we'll send someone to Sunday's game, Fan Appreciation Day, because it is the very last home game for the Detroit Tigers, at least in the regular season. There'll be another one. Maybe we'll send someone to it. But this is the last guaranteed home game in the regular season, so make sure to text in later for a chance to make it down to Comerica Park on Sunday afternoon. Hey, 9 o'clock hour here on the Ben Bosscher Show, as always brought to you by Iron Stack Technologies. Strong businesses, well, they need strong tech, and that's why Iron Stack Technology is here. Locally owned in Midlands, they keep your IT rock solid from cybersecurity to cloud services and everything in between. Think of them as like an invisible backbone of your business. No capes, no smarter solutions. Whether you're a small shop or a growing company, Iron Stack makes sure your tech doesn't crumble under pressure. Iron Stack Technology, strong, steady, and built to keep you moving forward. This is the Ben Bosscher Show right here on 100.9 The Mitt. Need to know if you still believe in this Tigers team. Plain and simple. We'll be right back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Something's in the water.
Dude, it's in your mouth.
I can't see it, but I feel it.
This summer, from the people who brought you floss and fluoride, gum disease, the silent bite.
Ah! Why didn't anyone warn me?
We did. At Scott Family Dental, you may not see the problem, but we can. No insurance contracts and a team that treats you like family.
So no jaws, just gentle cleanings?
Exactly. But skip your checkup and you might need a bigger toothbrush.
Scott Family Dental. Catch the problems before they bite. Book now at scottfamdental.com.
Hey, sports fans, heading up north? Whether you're gearing up for the big game, hosting friends, or winding down after a long day, Hops and Schnapps is your ultimate beverage destination. With one of the largest selections of beer, wine, and spirits in Michigan, featuring over 1,000 options from around the globe, we're your beverage experts. Plus, our friendly team is here to help you find the perfect pick. Visit us in Standish, Grayling, and Gaylord today. Hops and Schnapps, raise your glass, raise your spirits.
From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
Bel Air Brown, Dragon's Milk, Mad Hatter, Purple Gang, and Huma Loopalicious. These are names that let the imagination run wild and let the taste buds take a stroll. Welcome to the craft beer craze in Michigan. Bolstered by the Great Lakes and nurtured by the glacier-rich soil, here awaits a brewer's paradise. With fresh hops growing tall in the Old Mission Peninsula and fresh barley fields sweeping the mitten. Michigan ranks 5th in the nation in the number of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. From Good Harbor Golden to Whitefish Bay Wheat. From Motown Lager all the way to Park Bench Porter, Michigan is serving up a frosty glass of perfection. Whether you want to take in a game with a Two-Hearted Ale or just sit on a front porch sipping a Steelhead Red, let's tap into life at its fullest and treat ourselves to a taste that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Division lead for the Tigers down to 5.5 games. How do you feel about this team? Because everything has indicated for the last 60 days, this is a 500 ball club and nothing more. I don't want to believe that. And I think we saw enough from this team in the first half where you can believe that they're more than that. But I'm starting to lose those feelings. This offense is, spotty. Sometimes they're hot. Sometimes they're ice cold. They're inconsistent, to say the least. The pitching staff, look, Casey Mize has become a little bit more established of a guy. You know what you're getting the last 3 starts. The swing and miss was there yesterday. We'll see about Jack Flaherty tonight. Obviously, Tarek Skubal's nobody that we worry about, but what's become apparent over the last month and a half for me is just because Skubal's out on the mound doesn't mean it's a guaranteed win. Casey Mize has more wins than him this year, right? So are you getting nervous about this Tigers team, Kyle? Because yesterday it felt like it was a must-win game. It felt like they were about to take the game. Kerry Carpenter comes in clutch, puts on the superhero cape, and then they blow it. Or I guess Will Vest blows it.
Right.
And you could argue Spencer Torkelson blew it earlier in the game when he just decided he wasn't going to cover first base.
To say I'm not worried, I think would just be wrong. I think everyone's at least a little bit worried at the moment. With the combination of, one, the Tigers not playing tremendously every single night, and then the fact that Cleveland is playing as good as they are. Look, nonetheless, Cleveland just owns Detroit right now over the last year, right? I mean, the record this year, sure, it might not implement that. They're 4-4 against the Guardians this season, whatever. The fact that they knocked Detroit out of the playoffs a year ago and then have currently now at the end of this season made this late season surge, it's the one team in the AL Central that you really can't – I mean, the Tigers are 12 games up against the AL Central this season, but they're 500 against Cleveland. Like, it's just the one team that they still can't get over the hump against. Unfortunately, it's your biggest rival. And then last night is something that totally implements that. So, I don't know. To me, it's frustrating because you felt like this was a team that you started to gain some momentum against, right? Back in that series, back at Cleveland, they sweep them. And despite them playing good baseball, you felt good about the way they were going to play. So, unfortunately, it didn't go that way last night.
Well, even going all the way back to early on in the year, remember they had lost 3 straight games to Cleveland, and then Tarek Skubal came in and had the less than 100 pitch outing complete game. And I mean, like even before that, though, it was Cleveland that had the better part of the Tigers throughout the course of the series. It's the season series, that is. It's just so infuriating that we put all this pressure on this Tigers team, and just when we start to believe in them again, it feels like they fall flat on their face. The Torkelson, it didn't go down as an error yesterday, but I mean, the ball gets hit to him deep in that first base pocket, and he just kind of stares down Casey Mize. He's like, "You gonna go cover the bag?" He's like, "I'm not going to." He easily could have got there before the runner, and that could have avoided runs. I think they win that game if he gets there, but I don't know. Sometimes he just has those brain fart moments out, whether he's on the base paths or whether he's playing defense. I think he's really good at covering first when the ball gets hit to the other side of the field, and he's got to go protect the bag and make some scoops. But, man, sometimes the ball gets hit to him there, and I'm just like, what is going on? He's a lot better than he was. I'll give him credit. But plays like that yesterday, it makes you pull your hair out knowing what's on the line.
Yeah. Also, what I would really love currently at the moment is an update on Kyle Finnegan. I don't know, maybe that would be kind of sick currently. It feels like Will Vest is the Will Vest we love when he's with Kyle Finnegan. The duo of them two is what you feel super good about. And when it's just Will Vest, because even think back to a time when Tommy Kahnle was good, that's hard to think about. But for a good 2 to 3 month stretch when Tommy Kahnle was actually really good, it was the duo that you really loved. Yeah. And then as soon as one of them kind of fades away, the other one did as well. And so once they got Kyle Finnegan, Will Vest started to elevate his game once again. And without Finnegan, you see what happens to Vest last night. Even some inferring that he was tipping his pitches to the Guardians last night. Like, they were just clearly getting to him in that 10th inning. Talk about a momentum swing, man. Kerry Carp goes deep, and you feel really good because the Tigers have been, 1, good in extras, 2, really good in one-run games, and you add in the fact that they're so good at base running, you felt really confident. Next thing you know, it's a 4-run game out of nowhere, So that really was a range of emotions. But I would love a Kyle Finnegan update. That's currently where I stand.
Yeah, I would love to know if Vest was actually tipping his pitches or not, because that's what Dan Dickerson was kind of suggesting.
Yeah, he didn't say it, but he was just basically, suggesting that the Guardians were really knowing what was coming against Vest. They were prepared for what was coming.
And obviously the pitch com was put in to avoid all of that, but I wonder if, I don't know, he was moving his glove or something. Like, there had to be something, because that was just so unlike him to give up 4 straight extra base hits. You never see that from Vest. So that's part of the reason it was so shocking yesterday that in the 10th inning he comes in and just gets decimated by this Guardians team to the point where even with a Torkelson 2-run shot in the bottom of the 10th inning, it doesn't matter because Cleveland scored a ton of runs in the top, and it was out of reach for this Detroit Tigers team. Let's see what some people have to say. 989-837-6125. This one's from an unnamed number. This is a wild card team at best. I've been saying this since the All-Star break. They were like the hottest team in baseball at the All-Star break, but then they had that 2-week stretch a little bit after the break where they were the worst team in baseball, and since then they've basically been average. When are we getting this Tigers team back from the first half of the season? Felt like they just kind of took the momentum that they had from 2024, the end of the season, and rolled that into the year and just found themselves scorching hot. I don't even think they expected to be as good as they were for the first few months of the season, and now they're kind of just back to being a 500 club. I would say there's more pressure on the Tigers right now than there is the Lions. And that's saying a lot because the Lions are going to Baltimore. They've gotten their butts kicked already this season. Green Bay looks like a juggernaut in the NFC North. It feels like there's more pressure on the Tigers because of what's on the line. Like, yes, they're in first place, but Cleveland is red hot right now. It looks very reminiscent of the situation the Tigers found themselves in a year ago. They're just on the other end of it right now. They have to avoid doing what Minnesota did and blow a division down the last 2 weeks of the season.
And Boston losing last night really helps Cleveland's case because as much as Cleveland obviously wants to win the division, I assume, they have a much easier chance of making the playoffs via the wild card. They're only 2.5 games back of that final spot right now. So, yeah, I mean, as far as inferring to this team as a World Series team, yeah, I'm worried about the Tigers for sure. But to my shock a little bit, the Tigers have been above 500 against most of these other playoff teams this year.
Yeah.
They're 4-2 against the Astros. They're 2-4 against the Mariners. That was the one team that you really didn't feel great about. 4-2 against the Yankees. 3-0 against the Red Sox. Still to play them again for 3. And 4-3 against Toronto, which is the best team in the American League. So it's not like they've been owned by these other teams in the American League, despite us feeling so uncomfortable about going up against all of them basically in a 5 to 7 game playoff series. But Cleveland is just a team that more and more I worry about it. Like, do I think they're going to blow the division still? No. I still think it would take a lot for Detroit to blow the division.
Mathematically, they have a 97.7% chance of winning it. The case is, and the reason I think it's a lot lower than 97, look, I don't think it's like 50-50 whether or not they win the division. It's obviously much higher than that. But I think it's a little less than 97 because of the element of you play Cleveland 5 more times.
The head-to-head really makes it favors Cleveland, of course, because it just gives them the easiest opportunity to not have to rely on other teams for, to beat Detroit. It's just, can they beat Detroit? They have 6 games against, or 5 more games against them. If they take 4 out of those 5,
they've got a real shot.
They have a real shot. But what I'm worried about is this Cleveland team just getting into the playoffs at all, man. I do not want to face these guys anymore. Like I said, they just, it really feels, I know I said they're 4-4 against them this year. No Tigers fan out there can tell me they feel confident against Cleveland, man.
No, because this team has had like you said, they've had the Tigers' numbers here for a while. Kerry Carpenter has their number. But it feels like all these hitters come alive and have their best games against this Detroit pitching staff. Whether it's Skubal, whether it's Flaherty had a really nice outing against them earlier this year, 8 Ks. But whether it's Mize, Skubal, or the bullpen, like last night, It feels like these Guardians guys know exactly how to hit this Tigers team. The vote versus Hinch battles in these series, though, they've been so good.
They have.
So good for a casual baseball fan to just hop in.
They're doing all this without Emmanuel Clase.
That's the craziest
without
part.
The best reliever in baseball. That's the part about it that really just shocks you because, like you said, they have one of the worst offenses in baseball. Their pitching staff is good, for sure, but you would think that the back-end part of the bullpen is the reason why they'd be winning a ton of these games, which their back-end guys still have been good, like a Cade Smith, but without Clase, it's weird, man. This Cleveland team, it's voodoo baseball.
It's voodoo. They don't have their best closer, and they still have the 29th ranked OPS in baseball across the year. It makes zero sense that they're winning this many baseball games.
Do they still have a negative run differential on the season? Oh, they still do. Wow, that is actually insane. They still are at a negative run differential. Because remember early in the season, really early in the year, they had like a minus 50 run differential and somehow were 8 games up above 500. Like it made zero sense. That's basically what's going on right now. They're 8 games up and they have a minus 29 run differential.
It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. 989-837-6125. Are you worried about this Detroit Tigers team? Do you still think they're going to win this division? The math says yes, but the momentum says no right now. We'll hit the news when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mid. As always, brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Protect your home with Bresky Siding and Building Repair. The experts who do the job right the first time. Leaky roof, storm damage, siding looking a little tired. Bresky has you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and a service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mid Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Terry Johnson, President and CEO of Greater Midland.
What faced the most challenges for you? Like, is there a certain role that you were like, public, I know you said public affairs, but there was a certain time period or maybe even a certain event where you're like, okay, this is a challenge I can now take with me throughout my entire career, or any advice that you have for like young professionals that you learned maybe from like a certain lesson?
Yeah, 2 things come to mind. One, for a period of my Dow career, I managed crisis communications. So nothing's more challenging or a better learning opportunity is when you're kind of feet in the fire, when there's things going on.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mid. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Addison Thormeyer from Farwell High School. With a 3.7 GPA, Addison is a member of the track and field and cross-country teams and played soccer for travel teams competing up in age with girls and playing with the boys.
Oh, I should go try out for the boys team. Like, why not? Because he was the coach for that team. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, worst thing that happens is they don't make the team. So I go and try out, and he ends up calling me and saying, hey, I want you to come play for me. And it became a lot of fun, ended up being a totally different experience than playing with the girls, and one I don't regret having.
This fall, Addison is now attending Saginaw Valley State University. She'll major in electrical engineering. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themit.com.
Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5? That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit MidlandFoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at MidlandFoundation.org.
Let's go! Get him going! Mondays this football season when you want the NFL. I got your back! I got your back! I got your back! I got your back! We're going to the Super Bowl. It's right here.
Make this thing happen. Come on.
We've got Monday Night Football all season long.
We got a big one coming up, guys.
The Lions are on the Mitt. Detroit faces the Baltimore Ravens on M&F. Coverage starts 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Looms. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think the Lions ran up the scoreboard on Ben Johnson on purpose to rub it in. I think the Lions' defense is just scratching the surface on becoming a dominant top 10 unit. I think Bryce Underwood is a future Heisman winner, but not quite yet. And I think Tarek Skubal is less than a month away from becoming the best Tigers pitcher of the 21st century. Oh, and I think if you agree or disagree with anything I just said, you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show live from 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt, built by Bresky Siding and Repair.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Michigan needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, before we hit the news today, let's take a peek at the YouTube chat. Nathan says, Tigers game will be in attendance tonight. Got to win. Going to hammer Riley Green home run. Also, what's up with MSU not being able to practice after 10 p.m. by rule from the NCAA? This is news to me. I wasn't aware of this. They're not allowed to practice past 10 p.m. That there seems like there should be an exception for that when you're playing at 11 p.m.
Super late, yeah. I saw that the Free Press did an article on this. I didn't really get to check it out, but. Yeah, that is pretty dumb.
They should just do it anyway. What's the NCAA going to do? Like, what's the worst thing that could happen if they practice past 10 o'clock?
I don't know, maybe take 4 years for them to come down with a punishment for it.
Exactly. Just do it. If I'm Jonathan Smith, I'm like, whatever.
Right.
Let's just do it. Even if they find out, what are we going to do? Riley Green home run today, though? Gavin Williams on the mound? A little righty-lefty action?
Yeah, didn't you say that he, is terrible against Gavin Williams?
Yeah, he doesn't have a hit against Gavin Williams in his career,
yeah.
So just know that, Nathan, before you bet it.
Maybe he's due, though. That maybe that's not what that means.
That's an argument. Or it just means Gavin Williams has his number. I don't know. All right, that's it for the Mitt messages right now. Let's hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, let's hit the news, Ben. First off, let's check out the community calendar presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. We talked about the goat yoga that was going on. We got some more fun-related animal things today. An animal that I don't really like, though. There's a bat hike going on at the Riverview Natural Area at the Chippewa Nature Center tonight, 6 to 7:30 p.m. It's free. So if you want to go on a hike and check out all the bats in the area.
Pass.
That's your way to do it. Not a bats guy, huh?
Not a bats guy. I don't know many people who are bats guys.
How about Bryce Underwood? Get it because he's Batman.
I think I might have drove by the goat yoga yesterday.
Really?
Because it was in Freeland, right?
Yeah.
I drove through Freeland because apparently there's not one single store in Midland that sells basketball shoes. Don't know what's up with that, so I had to go to Saginaw to pick some up. I couldn't believe it. I called 3 different places. You guys sell basketball shoes? No.
Your first
that
L
seems
was
like
getting
a problem.
basketball shoes in person. That's strictly an online purchase.
No, with shoes you got to try them on to make sure they fit.
Not basketball shoes.
Yes, because I'm glad I did because the first pair I tried on was a pair of Lukas, and it felt like I was wearing bricks as shoes. I did not like those, so I had to try on a couple different pairs, make sure they fit right. I ended up going with the Jaws. So glad I had to drive 30 minutes away to pick up basketball shoes.
You sound pretty happy about it, yeah.
Anyways,
that's the bat hike today. That's on the community calendar presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Tigers take on, we already kind of talked about this, Guardians tonight, 6:40 p.m. Game 2. Fox Sports 1, the game is on tonight if you aren't a FanDuel Sports Network watcher or subscriber. Gavin Williams v. Jack Flaherty. And ESPN, by the way, they're wrong. They have Logan Allen as the starter tonight. He's not. Just wanted to throw a jab at ESPN while I could. The good news. Sorry, go for it.
No, I wanted to know. I didn't know the game was on FS1 tonight. I'm trying to figure out who's calling the game. Nope, I couldn't find it. All right, move on.
Okay. The good news for the Tigers is that Tarek Skubal is on track to take them on Thursday against the Guardians, less than a week after feeling that tightness on his left side during his previous start. It has been confirmed after a bullpen session yesterday that Skubal will be A-OK for Thursday. Thank God, because that was very scary when all that went down, but we're going to see the likely back-to-back Cy Young winner tomorrow.
You see Matt Vierling got shut down, though?
Oh, no, I missed this.
So Matt Vierling was doing a rehab assignment, and they shut him down with that, too. He's struggled to stay healthy all year,
So
man.
they shut him, like he's just done then, probably?
No, I don't think he's done for the year, but they shut down this certain rehab assignment.
Oh, I see.
Got to go readjust.
I mean, I don't really see how he makes the playoff roster, though.
Yeah, it feels like that ship has sailed, unfortunately, for Vierling.
Yeah.
You hate to see it, but I don't even know where he'd fit in on the roster.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Sweeney?
just like,
probably in for Sweeney, but like...
Well, is Sweeney on the team right now?
Yeah, you got to...
Oh, yeah.
Hit in the
right.
10th yesterday.
Well, because I'm just trying to think if they want to... Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe for Sweeney. That would make a little bit of sense. But who knows? By the way, Tarek Skubal, minus 4,000 to win the Cy Young. That's what I was checking on. More baseball news across the MLB, though. We talked about Cal Raleigh the other day tying Mickey Mantle's record for switch-hitting homers. He broke it last night with not one but two more homers, number 55 and 56. Since 1961, Mickey Mantle has held the switch-hitter home run record. It has been broken. Cal Raleigh also ties the Mariners' single-season franchise record with 56 bombs. Who holds that currently, Ben?
I knew you were going to do it.
This is a layup. This one's a layup.
Yeah, I know it should be. Hold on.
Ken Griffey Jr. holds the record.
There it is.
He's tied with Cal Raleigh now, but I would assume that the big dumper will hit another home run here in the next couple weeks to break that record. So shout out to him. All right, NFL news. Vikings have placed running back Aaron Jones on injured reserve. More Vikings injury news after J.J. McCarthy goes out. Now Aaron Jones is out. Jordan Mason, fantasy football owners, congratulations to you, but not congratulations to Aaron Jones and the Vikings.
Aaron Jones, I mean, this was so predictable, right? He great back for a long time, but just so small, and it's so aged out at this point. This was like the most predictable. This was the most red flag. Don't draft this guy in fantasy ever going into this season. And he wasn't even getting a bulk of the carries and still ends up hurt. So, tough scene for the Vikings.
Yeah, it definitely is, especially just with the amount of injuries they've already had this season. More running back news in the NFL. Steelers rookie running back Caleb Johnson will not be returning kickoffs in Week 3 and is basically benched for the foreseeable future by Mike Tomlin after his scuffle on special teams, to say the least, in Week 2 against Seattle. You saw this play, right?
Yeah, I think everybody saw this play.
Right.
That was. Is that even him or is that coaching? Like, how do you
It's
not?
him.
Yes, but like, you
It's
gotta
him.
you gotta look yourself in the mirror if you're the coach. Like, how did I not make sure he knew this?
What if you did make sure he knew this and he still did it?
Okay,
you know?
then that's totally on him. He also got one carry last week.
Yeah, I mean,
Why did they draft this guy?
Yeah, that's a great question. I one of the guys in my fantasy league, we actually talked about this last night, drafted Caleb Johnson over Jalen Warren, which is just, I mean, Caleb Johnson is a waiver guy right now. I mean, he should not be owned in redraft leagues.
You know who else is a waiver guy right now? Colson Loveland. Anybody remember seeing him out there on Sunday?
No.
He had one target. I don't even remember
Yeah, he
it.
played like 50% of the snaps.
And the Bears took him over Tyler Warren, who is the consensus number one coming into the league and is like leading the league amongst tight ends in pass or in receiving yards right now. Ryan Poles, just another big fat L on his resume.
It truly is. Yeah, just some really bad stuff there.
Also, probably could have just used a defender rather than a tight end in general.
Yeah.
Like Luther Burden, also non-existent on Sunday. I don't know. The Bears are such a mess, man.
All right, we'll end the news here and save the rest for later with this thing we talked about yesterday. The NFL says that Tom Brady did not violate any NFL league rules. NFL league, that doesn't any rules by being in the Raiders booth yesterday with the headset on.
I don't think anyone
Monday.
accused him of violating rules. Everyone's just kind of like, why is this this is okay?
Right.
It's not violating league rules because this has never happened before, so there's no rules written about it. But the fact that Tom Brady has a headset on, calling plays, and then also, I mean, anybody can watch the other games, but like, he's in the production meetings on Zoom. He's not allowed to go to the facilities. He's learning a lot of stuff about every single one of these teams, and then he gets to go report it to his OCs and DCs and Pete Carroll. I don't know. Something about it just rubs me the wrong way, especially knowing Tom Brady's been involved in not one, but two different cheating scandals. This guy will do
go to school?
Man, nice. This guy will do whatever it takes to win. We know that. He'll take some gamesmanship into it. There's no way you can tell me he's not trying to use the Fox broadcasting job to give him an advantage in the ownership job and help the Raiders out. You just can't convince me.
Agreed. All right, that's it.
989-837-6125. That's the number to the Mitt messages right here on 100.9 The Mitt. Hope everyone's having a good start to their Wednesday so far. Big win Wednesday thanks to our friends at Carp Chevrolet, which means we are giving away Detroit Tigers tickets for Sunday's game against the Atlanta Braves. That is in about a half hour, so make sure to stay tuned in about 10:15 for the keyword. Hey, if you're looking for the keyword, be patient. If you're looking to move, well, meet Matt Smith, Modern Realty. Redefining real estate with a fresh, modern approach. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, Matt Smith delivers personalized service tailored to you. Cutting-edge marketing, local expertise, and a commitment to making your real estate experience as smooth as possible. From cozy starter homes to luxury properties, they know how to find the perfect fit. Trust the team that combines innovation with real-world know-how. That's Matt Smith, Modern Realty. This is The Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Isaiah, let's play some word association.
I'm ready.
Spring.
Repairs.
Wind.
Roofing.
Rain.
Gutters.
Leak.
Buckley Satin Repair.
Who do you call?
Ghostbusters.
No, son. Who do you call?
Buckley Satin Repair.
That's right. Don't wait until spring. Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your roofing and gutter needs.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Terrion Johnson, President and CEO of Greater Midland.
And so spending the time at Dow just gave me such experiences professionally, personally, growth, things around travel, just experiences and opportunities that I could have never imagined even when I was in school. And so, taking the time and finalizing, okay, this is the time to tap out at Dow and to look at what's the next adventure in my journey. And Greater Midland has always been part of my journey as well, being part of the board structures for many, many years and knowing that my kids grew up in the center and my husband and I are very active and it's home for me.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
The doctors at Midland Eye Care want you to know a comprehensive eye exam is the only way to protect and detect vision-related disease. It goes beyond improved vision from glasses or contact lenses. Many common eye diseases such as glaucoma, diabetic eye disease, and age-related macular degeneration often have no warning signs. A dilated eye exam is the only way to detect these diseases in their early stages. This message brought to you by Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and now on East Washington in Freeland.
Get ready, Michigan. Field of Frames Fest presented by Dow is taking over Dow Diamond September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros for a 3-day festival like no other. Watch elite teams battle in high-stakes competition, the Valorant Collegiate Invitational and Rocket League Semi-Pro Showdown, each with $10,000 prize pools. a $5,000 Super Smash Bros. Open tournament, and a 17U Fortnite Youth Tournament with $1,000 up for grabs. There's live music, entertainment, and activities for all ages, plus educational panels and hands-on workshops for those interested in tech, business, and gaming industries. Tickets start at just $25, and kids 10 and under get in free. Don't miss your chance to be part of a landmark event. Visit fieldoframesfest.com to grab your tickets today. Field of Frames. Experience the element of gaming.
Into the end zone.
The Michigan State Spartans.
Touchdown, MSU.
Heard right here on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports.
The Spartans playing late night on Saturday out at the LA Coliseum facing the Trojans of Southern Cal. MSU, USC, kickoff at 11 p.m., presented by Weiss Equipment.
Don't miss a moment of Spartans football on Sports Radio 100.9.
Let's give them what they want. Do it.
100.9 The Mitt.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
They tell us we're more connected these days. We have cell phones, email, text messaging, yet we've never felt more disconnected from the people we care about the most. We need a place that's all about bringing us together. Say hello to the Great Lakes Bay region, where towns like Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, and Frankenmuth help us leave behind the overscheduled world we live in and visit a place we haven't seen in a while. One where the people make us feel right at home. And we remember just how bright our kids' eyes get, peeking through a riverboat railing, just to catch a glimpse of the wildlife. So let's go fishing, bird watching. Let's blow the suds off a local tap, take a tall ship dinner cruise at sunset, or stop by a festival just because the name made us smile. Right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, where reconnecting with what really matters is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I've defended the Tush Push for a very long time. First Tush Push came in 2022. It didn't really become a huge thing until 23. I've sat here and said, I want someone to stop it before they ban it, right? Because my argument was the Eagles run it better than everybody. We've tried other teams have tried doing it, like the Bears tried to do it against the Lions and got stood up twice. But the Eagles really cracked the code with Kelsey, kind of operating it, and then this quarterback who can squat 500 pounds. Did you know that? Did you know Jalen Hurts can squat like a ton?
What?
You ever seen those videos? They really cracked the code and made like an unstoppable play, and I wanted someone to try to figure out how to stop it. And I didn't think it was fair to the Eagles to take it away. With that being said, there's a play against the Chiefs from this past Sunday that I think is one of the most damning things you'll see for the Tush Push. Like, they didn't even have enough votes to pass it. It wasn't even close when they voted for it on May. I don't know, man.
Close, so they were 2 votes away.
They were 2 votes away?
Yeah.
Then it feels like the Tush Push is probably getting banned next season. Do you have this up on YouTube right now?
Yeah.
It is diabolical how offsides everyone is, how the guards false start every single play. I don't know how an official is supposed to officiate this. The center's offsides, the guards are offsides, the guards start moving early, half the Kansas City Chiefs players are offsides. And the other thing, too, it's just not very fun to watch. It's just not. And, again, not everyone can operate it the same way that Philly can. They've really cracked the code on it. But why do we have to wait for something, somebody to get hurt to ban it? That's not even the argument for me. For me, it's just like, this is a cheat code at this point for this Eagles team because they're quite literally cheating. Everyone is offsides. It's a false start. I'm not saying ban it, but we have to officiate this better. You can't line up with your head and shoulder pads over the ball. You have to have the ball out in front of you. No Kansas City or opponent player can be lining up, so why should you be able to? And we got to start calling the offsides or the false starts on the Eagles.
Yeah.
That's all.
I've never been either on the side of like, oh, ban the tush push. One, it's for sure going to get banned, by the way. Like, this is absolute, and I think everyone felt that way in the offseason. Like, okay, well, this is the last year of the tush push. Everyone will change their opinion next year.
Yeah, because now it feels like the Eagles are almost rubbing it in. It's like, oh, it's 3rd and 2.
Yes.
Watch this. We're going to run it twice.
Oh, it's 2nd and 2? You know, like, exactly. It doesn't really matter. Especially with no other team being able to do it as good as them. But also, I think the reason why I always felt that way was it hasn't happened against my team. You know, like, the Lions haven't really had a chance to get tush pushed by the Eagles.
Well, they'll have one later this year.
It's going to happen this year, exactly. And when they lose in the way that the Chiefs did, it's going to be quite frustrating when this is the way that it happens. I still think that it's just like, it is a play at the end of the day. Like, how much different is this than, oh, this is a cheat code? Like, how much different is it than, like, Lamar Jackson scrambling out of the pocket, no one being able to take him down? Like, that's a cheat code, you know? So that's kind of the way that I've always felt about it. This, though, this whole, like, it clearly being illegal, that's the part about it that's frustrating. Like,
it's just not officiated very well.
That's the part that is very frustrating.
It feels like they decided not to ban it, and then now the officials have no idea what to do because the Eagles are like, you told us we could do this, so we're going to keep doing it, and we're going to keep pushing the limits as to what we can and can't do. And remember that whole thing last year in the playoffs where they were just like purposely trying to get a team, purposely lining up offsides, and the officials were like, we can actually just award the team 10 points if we decide
That's
to.
right. I forgot about that. Dude, I totally forgot about that.
Because was that the Commanders or it was the Commanders, right? Or was it around earlier against the Rams? Yeah. I think it was against the Commanders in the NFC Championship when they were just like, they just kept jumping off sides to try to time it up. And the officials were like, we can just award 6. That's what you can't have happen. We can't have the same play ran 3 times in a row at the goal line because of this. It has to be officiated better. And you know why I think the Eagles are so afraid of this being banned? It's because if this gets banned, Jalen Hurts again becomes a very average quarterback. I like Jalen Hurts. I think when he's running downhill and crosses the line of scrimmage, he's one of the hardest guys to tackle. Plants his foot into the ground, changes directions, squats 1 billion pounds. He's a really hard quarterback to tackle in open space. But when he actually has to sit back in the pocket and like run a normal defense or run a normal offense that's not this Phillies team, I don't think he could do it. Do you know how many air yards or how many passes of 10-plus yards he's completed this year through the air?
Oh, maybe 1?
0.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He has 0 completions of over 10 air yards this season because this Philly team,
2-0.
It's just nonsense what they're doing. I don't want this play banned, but it needs to be cleaned up from an officiating standpoint because what we saw on Sunday with the game on the line, it's ridiculous. It really is. And I don't think it's the reason that the Chiefs lost.
No, and Jordan Mailata got some crap for that on Philly Talk Radio yesterday.
What did he say?
Basically, someone calling in saying that's the reason why they won was because of the tush push.
No, it's not.
It wasn't.
Nope, they lost because Travis Kelce has butter hands.
Yeah, and the Eagles' defense is also really good. Like, I think that's the issue is that the Eagles are just a really good team. I mean, obviously they've won the Super Bowl, and they have this play that no one can stop. If this was something that the Chicago Bears ran really good, but they still went 7-10, no one would care, you know?
Yeah. It's just they've mastered this to the point where I just don't really know what another team is supposed to do because you have the offensive line basically getting lower and sacrificing their bodies, and then you have Hurts who comes in, and I don't know if you know this, but he can squat like 500 pounds. And then Saquon and the tight end just come and push this guy forward. It's like
that's the thing. If
impossible.
You stop it, even if you stop it right away, the second effort always gets it. You know,
every time,
every single time. Yeah, it's like, oh wait, they actually might have stopped the tush push now.
I don't want this play banned. I don't. I want someone to be able to figure it out. And Dan Campbell, he didn't want it banned. The Lions didn't vote to ban it because they said they've got something really special. We want to figure it out. And I think, honestly, when Ali McNeil's healthy and they've got DJ Reader and Tyleik Williams in there, the Lions are one of the teams that are more equipped to stop it. I'm not saying that they're going to.
And Chris Jones and company can't stop it.
Chris Jones is a pass rusher, though. Like, Vita Vea is the real guy you want in the middle, not Chris Jones. Nothing against Chris Jones. He's awesome.
Just saying.
But the Lions are, like, semi-equipped to stop it. I want to see what it looks like against the Lions, but I want it to be officiated fairly. The guards jumping off sides every single play, every single time, is getting ridiculous. They move early, and everyone's lined up off sides anyway. 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At Ironstack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronstackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. Ironstack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
At First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, floors don't just get coated, they get a makeover. Epoxy's so tough, it shrugs off spills, stains, and even your wildest dance moves. Garages, workshops, anywhere you want a floor that's smooth, shiny, and just a little bit sassy, they handle it all with style. No more boring floors. Get ready to impress everyone who walks through the door. Slide into durability and flair. First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't know they needed.
Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, meh. Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10, or at PremierTileStone.com.
We can't see tomorrow, but we can hear it. And it sounds like peace of mind, knowing our lakes will be better protected by placing Line 5 in the Great Lakes Tunnel. And that we've added extra safety measures while we work to build it, because we're committed to keeping the Great Lakes safe for generations to come. Tomorrow is on. Visit enbridge.com/line5 for more information. Enbridge. Life takes energy.
The Ben Bosscher Show is brand new, and to celebrate, we want to make sure one listener is a big winner every Wednesday.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
On Wednesday, September 17th, we want to send one of our listeners to the Detroit Tigers game against the Atlanta Braves for their last regular season home series of 2025. At 10:15 a.m. on the Ben Bosscher Show, just get ready to text in the lucky word for your chance to be a winner thanks to our friends at Carp Chevrolet.
From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt. From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
There's a Detroit Lion that's getting a little bit of hate. Lions fans are a little frustrated with Terrion Arnold to begin the year. And I guess, look, if you want to look on the surface, there's reason to be frustrated. Terrion Arnold's given up 175 passing yards so far this season. That is the most in the NFL amongst cornerbacks. So, yeah, look, you look at that, and there's not really a defense for it. Unless, allow me. Look, I'm not saying that's a great stat. It's certainly not a beneficiary towards him. But the Lions, more than any other team other than the Jets, because they are running the exact same defense with Aaron Glenn out there, they leave their corners on an island. And what I mean by that is they usually have an extra linebacker compared to an extra nickel. They're going to use that Sam linebacker a lot. That's why Derek Barnes is on the field a lot. Although they didn't use him as much against Chicago, they used him a boatload week 1. So there's already one less DB. They run a ton of man, more than anybody else in the NFL. And they're going to get after the quarterback and blitz, which means maybe not two safeties over the top. Brian Branch playing in the box, which means Terrion Arnold is left on an island a lot. A lot. and they're expecting Terrion Arnold to handle his business out there. But they're also expecting to get beat through the air sometimes. The Lions' defense, the way it is set up, is they are content with that if it means that they are going to shut down the run. They prioritize stopping the run, which means they are going to be prone to giving up passing yards once in a while. It's not very secretive of a defense what the Lions are trying to do. They're trying to be smash mouth in your face. You don't run the football on us. If you're going to beat us, it's going to be through the air. Have fun with Kirby Joseph lingering around back there. So yeah, Terrion Arnold and any Lions corner, they're just going to be prone to giving up more passing yards than your average corner. It's based on the scheme. Does that mean Terrion Arnold's been disappointing? No, I don't think so. I mean, the passing yards, the most in the league, it's not great. It's not great. But there's not a lot of yak. It's not like people are catching balls and then leaving him in the dust. That hasn't been the case. The one penalty was pretty bad. I don't have a defense for that. He's been really good against the run. He has. And you can say whatever for a corner with that. It's something that gets overlooked. He's been really good at setting the edge, making sure nothing bounces outside, getting his nose dirty, and getting involved in the run game. He's been very good at that. It has not been the best 2 games for Terrion Arnold. I still believe in this kid. I really do. So someone, when the Lions drafted, go to camp, and it's like, man, that guy is enormous out there. Like, that's not a normal cornerback build, and if he can figure this thing out, he's going to be a problem. He hasn't quite figured it out yet, and he's had some good games. He does have a pass breakup this season. It's not like he's been all bad. But I think people are a little bit disappointed, especially when you start comparing Terrion Arnold to all of the other first-round picks that Brad Holmes has made here in his tenure with the Detroit Lions. And especially considering Will Johnson is kind of kicking butt in Arizona, and he got taken after Terrion. Look, I guess Will Johnson, I guess, was just on the board. Could have had him in. And they decided not to go. So here's the thing. I like Terrion Arnold. I'm not going to give up on him. I think this guy is very, very close to really figuring it out. Is he ever going to be like a top elite NFL corner? Probably not. Like, I think we can say that, but it's also been 18 games for him, 19 games for him. I'm not giving up on Terrion Arnold, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I still think that this guy has upside, and I still think that we're far from the surface, or far from the ceiling as to what he can be.
I've been seeing a lot of this stuff as well, and I guess I was a bit uninformed on, is this more of a general opinion from Lions fans?
I don't know.
You know, that's kind of what I'm interested to see what people have to think, whether that's texting in 989-837-6125 or in the YouTube chat, because I saw a lot of this over the last week, and maybe against week 1 against Green Bay I saw it, but it was more of a general, like, Lions frustration thing, so you're kind of just nitpicking things out that you were frustrated with. But you also see this after week 2 as well, with Roma Dunze obviously having a big game, so that kind of played into it as well. But look, I think it's just way too early to give up on this guy, right? I mean, there's no way people have legitimately given up on him as the first-round pick of the Lions in an era that Brad Holmes has just drafted so extremely well in the early rounds of the draft, in the first round of the draft. This is still a guy that they traded up for in that draft, one of the top corners. I would be very surprised if this is the version of Terrion Arnold that we get long-term. You know, he was a guy that we were hyping up all offseason. Now, and by we, I don't even mean just you and I. I mean Lions fans in general. Brad
Holmes, Dan Campbell, everyone was all in on Terrion Arnold throughout camp.
Absolutely. And so that's why I'm surprised to see this coming from Lions fans. I would think it's got to be a small majority of them that are just shining through the cracks here. But I'm not ready to give up on him, that's for sure. I'm not even close.
We do have one text from Matt that says he couldn't cover me, and I'm 50. Promise you, Matt, he could, in fact, cover you. Joshua says he needs to play 2 yards back from where he's usually at. On occasion, he'll still get burnt, but I'd like to give him more time to play.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I'm also not going to sit here and defend him and say he's been great, you know, like I'm not going to do that
he hasn't.
either. Right. But we're 2 weeks into week 2, and still trying to maybe figure out that tandem of him and DJ Reed as far as, you know, who takes priority matching up with who and who.
I think DJ Reed's been the more disappointing corner, if I'm being honest.
Sure. Maybe just compared to his replacement from last year in Carlton Davis.
It was also the biggest free agent acquisition that the Lions had, and I don't think he's stuck out in any way. Maybe that's a good thing, but I don't know.
Sure.
Terrion Arnold's at least made some plays.
Yeah, he has.
I think of that play on third down, back in Bears territory. They throw a little out pass to Ramadunze, and he just comes in, makes a tackle short of the line of scrimmage, or short of the first down marker. That's good stuff from Terrion Arnold. It's not all bad, despite the passing yard number being so high throughout the season. I mean, we saw this guy progress from the time he was a rookie week 1 to the second half of the season. He was a totally different player. I don't see why he can't be a totally different player right now in week 2 versus in week 15 later on this season.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I'm seeing this Jeff Okudah comparison here.
No.
We're not doing that, right?
I hope not. And the thing that people forget about Jeff Okudah, yes, it was a bust, but he still had some pretty good games. Remember that game where he shut down Jefferson?
Yes, I do remember that. And then DK Metcalf the following week basically was like, Jeff Okudah sucks, and then went off. So that was kind of bad. But look, I mean, Jeff Okudah was a bust because he was bad. It was because he was hurt. He just couldn't stay healthy. We haven't had that issue with Terrion Arnold. So I think this is way too early to just be giving up on a year 2 guy that really showed extreme growth as a rookie. I mean, think about how we thought of Terrion Arnold by the end of the year last year.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't awesome, but he was a totally different player from the first
He was awesome
jump.
compared to what he was in the first half of the year. In the first half of the year, it was legit like, oh, wow, this is rough, And it really got better as the year went along, especially after Carlton Davis went down with injury. And that's why he deserved all the hype this offseason.
There's a world where Terrion Arnold gets drafted to, let's say, the Eagles, and gets to play all this cover 4. Hey, your only job is to not let anything
Think about
deep.
how everyone thinks about Quinion Mitchell,
Exactly.
Same exact draft.
And it's not even a knock on Mitchell. He's awesome.
No, he's really good.
But he's also in a system that is very friendly for cornerbacks. Drop back, don't let anything get behind you. That's your only job. Terrion Arnold's being asked a lot. Terrion Arnold had more man coverage snaps than every single corner in the NFL last season. Think about that.
Yeah.
As a rookie, he was asked to do that more than any other player in the NFL. We can't compare Jeff Okudah to Terrion Arnold, first of all. 2 totally different regimes, totally different GMs. One of them was taken 3rd, one of them was taken in the 20s. That's very different. And a different defensive system in general. This Terrion Arnold, expecting him to be this lights out Pro Bowl corner, I just don't think is a fair expectation. And that's almost more of a testament to how Brad Holmes drafted and how these other first-round picks have worked out. Until this year, this was the latest pick they had in the first round. Terrion Arnold has not been excellent, to say the least. Maybe he's never a Pro Bowler. I don't think that means that he's a bust.
No.
You don't have to be a Pro Bowler to be a hit. Well,
and I think it's a testament, to one, obviously, like you said, to Brad Holmes, the way that he's drafted in the first round, but also to the fact of, and I think we've talked about this on the show before, but just the amount of cornerbacks that have gotten drafted in the first round in the last 5 years that instantly throw their name in the race of top 5 corner in the league, just within a year of being in the NFL. I mean, this has continuously happened now. Sauce Gardner, Derek Stingley, you're even seeing it with the past couple guys. Trent McDuffie with Kansas City was elite right away. Quinion Mitchell, who we just talked about. A lot of these guys step into the league, these first-round corners, and are really good right away. So I think
Will Johnson.
Sure, yeah.
A second round, technically.
Yeah, right. I get what you're saying, though. So I think that just kind of that adds a little bit of pressure as well, just because the cornerback position was one that, at least prior to that, had never been – I mean, not never, but there was a long stretch of cornerbacks were not getting picked as high as they were.
Well, also, this is the only time that this has ever happened in the NFL. Usually you came in and it was huge learning curve for corners. It was very, you needed a couple years to figure it out.
It's one of the tougher positions to come in and play. That's always been a notable thing.
And that's been the exception. The last couple of years have been the exception to that. And I guess, okay, Terrion Arnold's not the exception to it. Although, he's already had a pass breakup this season. He's really good against the run. He's going to give up yards. Don't ever expect him to be some shutdown corner. But I think even if you put the best corners in the league on this Lions team, they're going to be prone to giving up big passing yards because of the way that the Lions like to play defense.
Yeah.
They're going to run a lot of man. They're going to blitz their safeties. Well,
we talked about
their
this the other day.
linebackers and Brian Branch. So it just leaves these guys on islands.
the top receiver of the other team is just always going to have a good game against the Lions.
Yes.
Like that's what we talked about because they shut down the run, and like you said, they're leaving a lot of one-on-one stuff.
And
that's
it's
what Dan
schematic.
Campbell talked about in his post-game yesterday. Like the one-on-one stuff. They won way more one-on-ones yesterday than they did against Green Bay or this week. So, yeah, I mean, it's like DJ in our YouTube chat says the same thing. He's coming to a team with a ton of expectations, so we'll see by the end of the season. He had a great game Sunday, TBH. Like, I think that's a good point, too. He came to a team where it was like, hey, our team is really good except cornerback.
Yeah.
So this is like our only weak spot. You should be, the fix for it now. Like, that's a lot to put on a kid.
If he's getting beat, I think it's less so of like, oh, you got toasted, and it's more so the pressure didn't get there to the quarterback. That is how the Lions defense is set up. Like, they are trying to get after the quarterback at all times. It's not rare, but like, they're not sending 4 guys at the quarterback very often. If he's getting beat in that area, okay, like that's a little bit different. But when they send a ton of guys, then send a blitz, and they don't get home, the linebackers, and then Terrion Arnold gets beat, that's not really on him as much as it is the guys not getting home on the blitz. He's going to give up passing yards. Now, get it out of your head if you're expecting him to have these ridiculous, you see it on Instagram afterwards, like 3 targets, 0 passing yards allowed, 0 reception. That's never going to be Terrion Arnold, ever, because of the way the defense plays for the Lions and the way the system is set up. So get that out of everyone's head. The expectation, I don't think, needs to be lowered. It just needs to be adjusted based on what the Lions are asking him to do. I'm not giving up on this guy. I think he's very close to finally, I don't know if breaking out is the right word, but not being someone that the Lions fans are negatively talking about for every Monday for the foreseeable future. 989-837-6125. Forgot to mention, 10 o'clock hour here on the Ben Bosscher Show, always brought to you by Iron Stack Technologies. Strong businesses. Oh, no, that's a 9 o'clock hour. 10 o'clock hour is brought to you by Corning. Corning, a global leader in material science right here in Midland. From the glass in your smartphones to innovations that power clean energy and advanced medicine, coming in and shaping the future. It's not just about technology, though. It's about the people. Corning invests in the community, supports local schools, and creates opportunities close to home. Whether with a legacy and innovation and commitment to what's next, Corning is proud to call Midland part of its story. Corning, creating life-changing innovations, one breakthrough at a time. This is Ben Bosscher Show on The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Looking for a job can feel like searching for a needle in a haystack. But at Spherion Staffing and Recruiting, they've got the magnet. Whether you're looking for steady work in manufacturing, a fresh start in the office, or the right people to grow your business, they make the match simple. Local recruiters, real relationships, and opportunities that fit you. That's the Spherion difference. Find your perfect fit today. Visit Spherion.com/Midland. Spherion Staffing and Recruiting, where opportunity works.
The Ben Bosscher Show is brand new, and to celebrate, we want to make sure one listener is a big winner every Wednesday.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
On Wednesday, September 17th, we want to send one of our listeners to the Detroit Tigers game against the Atlanta Braves for their last regular season home series of 2025. At 10:15 a.m. on the Ben Bosscher Show, just get ready to text in the lucky word for your chance to be a winner thanks to our friends at Carp Chevrolet.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's a Tri-Valley Conference matchup this Friday. The 3-0 John Glenn Bobcats out of Bay City face the 2-1 Swan Valley Vikings from Saginaw. Pre-game coverage at 6:50 on Friday.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay Region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
Bel Air Brown, Dragon's Milk, Mad Hatter, Purple Gang, and Huma Loopalicious. These are names that let the imagination run wild and let the taste buds take a stroll. Welcome to the craft beer craze in Michigan. Bolstered by the Great Lakes and nurtured by the glacier-rich soil, here awaits a brewer's paradise. With fresh hops growing tall in the old Mission Peninsula and fresh barley fields sweeping the mitten, Michigan ranks 5th in the nation in the number of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. From Good Harbor Golden to Whitefish Bay Wheat, from Motown Lager all the way to Park Bench Porter, Michigan is serving up a frosty glass of perfection. Whether you want to take in a game with a two-hearted ale or just sit on a front porch sipping a Steelhead Red, let's tap into life at its fullest and treat ourselves to a taste that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, it's Big Win Wednesday. We're a little late. It's supposed to be 10:15. Let's just do it now. Text in the word. How about let's make it easy. Texting Tigers to 989-837-6125. Tigers and your name to 989-837-6125 for a chance to win tickets to this Sunday's game. It's the final regular season game for the Detroit Tigers. Sunday's game against the Braves. You get a chance to go for Fan Appreciation Day. Again, it's Tigers and your name to 989-837-6125. How about this? Let's let that sit for about 20 minutes. You don't have to be the first person. You don't have to be the last person. We'll randomly pick a winner in about 20 minutes. And until then, I kind of wanted to jump in to another Lions topic because I don't know if you saw this. The Lions signed Malik Cunningham. Do you remember this guy from Louisville?
How could I not remember this guy?
Malik Cunningham at Louisville, 2021, 20 rushing touchdowns, quarterback, by the way, and 19 passing touchdowns. He was like Lamar Jackson reinvented there down in Louisville. 2020, 2021, 2022.
Yeah, I remember when the Patriots, did they draft him or at least undrafted free agent, one of the two?
And he played quarterback / wide receiver.
And he was nuts in preseason, and everyone was like, oh, my God, are they going to give Malik Cunningham, actual run? And they never did, but I miss him, yeah. I'm happy he's on the Lions.
He's now on the Lions practice squad for one reason. He is imitating Lamar Jackson. The Lions played the Ravens a couple years back. What was it, 38-6? It was an embarrassment. They went into that game, I think, not unprepared in they didn't know what they were doing, but unprepared in a way where it's impossible to prepare for Lamar Jackson because no matter what you do on the practice field, you can't replicate what he's doing. They're taking it way more seriously this year because they're bringing in someone on their practice squad. They're bringing in someone on their practice squad who has semi-similar skills to Lamar Jackson to replicate it. I love it. They're going all in to try to, beat this Ravens team on Monday night. It's not a guaranteed win by any means, but I love that they're taking these sort of steps in preparation for playing the Ravens this week because they know exactly what they're facing now in Lamar Jackson. Now, they didn't have Derrick Henry a couple of years ago, so that's an entirely new challenge. But it's not necessarily the running game that I'm worried about. It's Lamar Jackson, right? It's his running game. And the fact that they're preparing for it, I don't know, that just gets me excited a little bit. I think that's a great, under-the-radar move from Brad Holmes to bring a guy like that in. Because if they were to never have done that, and that wasn't a signing the Lions made yesterday, we wouldn't be, knocking Brad Holmes for it. But he makes that signing, and it's like, oh, that's a really good move.
Yeah, because who is going to implement Lamar Jackson? That guy doesn't exist. So, Malik Cunningham can represent him. You're not going to be exactly like Lamar, of course. But you just can't replicate Lamar Jackson. No one on that Lions team can. So I think that based on what happened a couple years ago when they played him, when they got off to the really good start, Ravens absolutely embarrass them. Something needed to be done as far as any way we can to at least extra game plan for Lamar. Do I still think Lamar is going to go off? Yes. Do I still think it's going to be very difficult for them to limit Lamar Jackson? Of course I do, just because of they don't play against those style of quarterbacks in the NFC. You know, Lamar's and Josh Allen's, they don't be running around on the Lions' schedule every season. So I'm still, nervous for the game, obviously. This doesn't really change my outlook of are they going to be able to win, are they not going to be able to win. But what it does do is, like you said, it makes me feel confident that the Lions front office, coaching staff, whatever you want to call it, are putting in this extra effort to try to find some sort of game plan to slow down a guy in Lamar Jackson who has only lost twice to the NFC in the regular season in his career, which is just still one of the most absurd stats of all time.
And it's because guys can't prepare for him. At least the Lions are trying, at least they're doing something. I thought that was a really creative move on behalf of Brad Holmes.
And
to
maybe
bring a guy
Malik
like
Cunningham
that in.
earns himself a roster spot or something,
I think it's more likely he's just unemployed next week this time.
Yes, I agree.
But hey, man, if the Lions, get it all done and win a ring, give them a ring. You know what I mean? I think
give them a ring.
Give them a ring. I don't know. I think this is I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if you see some other teams start to do this. It's we're playing the Ravens this week. Malik Cunningham, welcome to your name is now Lamar Jackson for the next 6 days. I thought it was
That's
a
for
really
sure
good
what he's
move.
going to be. Yeah, I'm happy about it.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good move from Brad Holmes. We also got an update that Marcus Davenport just still out. His status is just kind of up in the air right now. He's dealing with a shoulder and an ankle injury. Came out on 2 different occasions versus the Bears. That is unfortunate, but we talked about where's this edge rush help coming from for this Detroit Lions team. Have you seen some of the Muhammad stats from the first 2 weeks of the season?
This is exactly where I was going to go. I assumed we were going to discuss this at some point when we did a little bit of a preview for the Baltimore game. They have been preaching about internal, not really preaching about it, but have made it very obvious that they're confident in the group of guys that they had, which is a small group, obviously. But Muhammad is kind of backing them right now. He's showing that they were not right, but he's proving them right from that aspect of things. He's looked so good in his limited run.
Nick Bonito, Will Anderson, Joshua Uche, Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson. Those are your top 5 players in edge pass rush win rate. Number 6, Muhammad at 28%. That's how often he's winning these matchups, his one-on-ones, according to PFF. That is a crazy group of guys to be thrown in with. Micah Parsons at 25%. Muhammad at 28%. It's not a sustainable number, but that is a ton of production through the first 2 weeks of the season. He didn't play a ton in week 1, ended up getting a tremendous amount of snaps in week 2, especially when Davenport went down. But man, he might just be better than Davenport. Muhammad might be. I don't think that's off the table. And I'm not saying blessing in disguise that Davenport got hurt. You want your guys to stay healthy. You need depth, because if Muhammad were to go down now, they're in serious trouble. But I don't know, man. Muhammad seems like a really nice asset across from Aiden Hutchinson right now. We'll see if he can do it in bulk once the snap load goes up. But
I still
really
think
nice start to the season.
You probably feel better about him just as a depth piece rather than a full-time starter.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, having him as the third edge rusher would be super ideal, which, probably still technically is the case, whether or not Davenport goes or not this week. They still view Davenport as that number 2 guy. But like you said, played 53% of the snaps last week, a much larger increase from week 1. And in a situation against Lamar Jackson, getting pressure on him is more important than it is on against any quarterback they'll have to play against. So I'm excited to see how much run Muhammad gets this week, honestly. Hopefully Davenport still plays, though. I still think that is that's still something that we all have to hope for.
989-837-6125. Reminder, we do, in fact, have a Tigers giveaway going on right now thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. Every Wednesday, just text in Tigers and your name to 989-837-6125 for a chance to win. Let's take a break, come back, do Around the League here on 100.9 The Minute. We'll let those texts keep flooding in to give everyone a chance to text in, try to win these tickets. Until then, I do want to tell you about our friends over at the Midland Area Community Foundation. They're dedicated to strengthening our community through generosity and connection, supporting local nonprofits, scholarships, and projects that make Midland a better place to live, work, and play. Your donations help fund vital programs in education, health, the arts, and more right here at home. Partner with a foundation to leave a lasting legacy and create positive change for generations to come. Get involved, give back, or learn more at midlandareacf.org. Together we build a stronger Midland, one gift, one idea, and one heart at a time.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Ugh, the outside of my house needs a total makeover. The siding is faded, the gutters are falling off, and the roof is leaking.
What is that falling from the sky?
Super Bresky!
Who are you?
Super Bresky!
Excuse me?
I'm here to tell you, Bresky Siding and Building Repair can fix your house in no time. All you have to do is call my dad, and your house will look as good as new.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
Detours driving you bonkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with the Detour discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more, with 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At Ironstack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronstackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. Ironstack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
We can't see tomorrow, but we can hear it. And it sounds like peace of mind, knowing our lakes will be better protected by placing Line 5 in the Great Lakes Tunnel. And that we've added extra safety measures while we work to build it, because we're committed to keeping the Great Lakes safe for generations to come. Tomorrow is on. Visit enbridge.com/line5 for more information. Enbridge. Life takes energy.
Get ready, Michigan. Field of Frames Fest presented by Dow is taking over Dow Diamond September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros for a 3-day festival like no other. Watch elite teams battle in high-stakes competition, the Valorant Collegiate Invitational and Rocket League Semi-Pro Showdown, each with $10,000 prize pools, a $5,000 Super Smash Bros. Open Tournament, and a 17U Fortnite Youth Tournament with $1,000 up for grabs. There's live music, entertainment, and activities for all ages, plus educational panels and hands-on workshops for those interested in tech, business, and gaming industries. Tickets start at just $25, and kids 10 and under get in free. Don't miss your chance to be part of a landmark event. Visit fieldofframesfest.com to grab your tickets today. Field of Frames. Experience the element of gaming.
Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Looms. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
(989-837-6125). How about we go another 10 minutes or so? You guys can text in the keyword Tigers and your name to that number for a chance to win the Detroit Tigers tickets for this Sunday's game, last regular season home game of the season. So text in that word if you want to go and your name. We'll go about 10 more minutes, get you guys a chance to get your Mitt messages in. Until then, how about we take a trip around the league?
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
This one's very niche.
Oh.
There's 5 backup quarterbacks playing this weekend in the NFL. Week 3, we've already got 5 starters out. Very unfortunate, but I want to know who you have the most confidence in, who you have the least confidence in amongst the 5 starters. The 5 starters are the 5 backups: Jake Browning for the Bengals, Mac Jones for the 49ers, Carson Wentz for the Vikings.
The former almost MVP.
Correct. Tyrod Taylor for the Jets, and Marcus Mariota for the Commanders. 4 of the 5 of these guys are very notable players, like first-round talents and or Pro Bowlers.
Oh, we're just dissing Jake Browning like that, huh?
He's the one guy that doesn't fit into
College
it.
football legend, man.
Legend? I don't know.
Yeah, probably not.
I'll go first. I'm debating between 2 guys for who I have the most confidence in. But based on the system that they're running, the coaching staff, the weapons that surround them, I think I feel the most comfortable with Mac Jones here.
Ooh.
As crazy as it sounds, but I don't know, maybe any of these quarterbacks in a Kyle Shanahan system.
Yeah, I think I
just feel better about. Now, Carson Wentz is somewhat in a Kyle Shanahan system with KOC. But with that being said, Carson Wentz is the definition of I'm playing off script. Forget what the coaches tell me. I'm running around and making plays and being a superhero. He might be last for me amongst the guys I trust here. I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota ends up going with Max Brosmer, the Minnesota guy.
Man, back-to-back days of this guy just getting
this
run
guy
on the show, man. This is good stuff for the Brosmer group out there. I kind of agree with your take on Mac Jones. I'll just spoil right now. I have him second, strictly because of what you talk about. I just think that if you put any of these guys in the Shanahan system, it's fine. I mean, look at what happened with Brock Purdy, probably except for Wentz. Yes, I would agree. My number 1 guy is Jake Browning. I put Browning here at number 1 just because, 1, we've seen a lot of him only as most of these guys are failed starters turned backups, right? Not most of them, literally all of Tyrod Taylor. Does he count?
It's like a fringe. He's always been on the bubble.
Was he ever a failed starter? Yeah, he was just a backup that played a lot. But the other 3 guys are notable.
He was a starter that one year that the doctor tried to kill him.
Oh, that's right. No, not tried to. Almost actually did. Yeah. Justin Herbert's representative, some are saying. Anyways, Jake Browning to me is number 1 because he's like the true lone backup of this list. And I think he can come in and kind of implement a Joe Burrow-style offense. At least, obviously he's not going to be on the same level as Joe Burrow, but I don't think
just
the Bengals...
throw the ball to Jamar and T. Higgins. It'll work itself out, right?
Yeah, I mean, the guy comes into the game, and it's like, okay, my number 1 goal, it's not to win games. It's not to throw up for a bunch of yards. It's to get the ball to Jamar Chase, man. Jamar Chase's numbers with Jake Browning 2 years ago were unreal when Browning came into the game. So I just think that as far as keeping things the way that they are, you don't really have to change a lot. Jake Browning does that. I also think that you know who Jake Browning really reminds me of? And I think if he was in Minnesota, he would actually earn himself a starting job somewhere. Remember Nick Mullins on the Vikings?
Oh, yeah. How can
I
forget?
He reminds me of Nick Mullins without with 2 less interceptions per game.
Okay.
Because remember Nick Mullins would come in the game and he would just sling it, dude.
He's Lions third string one of these years,
He would
wasn't
come in and throw 4 picks, but 4 touchdowns for 350 yards. Like, he would just chuck the thing around. It's kind of what Jake Browning does, just on a better scale than Nick Mullins. So he's my number 1.
Okay. He was my number 2.
Okay, so we have the same top 2, just flipped.
I feel like Tyrod just has to be 3, right? He just, every time he comes in, he kind of balls out.
This is the one I debated, man. I can't really decide. I have Mariota 3, Tyrod 4 currently.
I don't like Mariota
and I can be convinced about Tyrod because you're right. Tyrod has probably the safest floor of any backup when he comes in.
He's
just going to be fine, but he's never going to be he's never going to be the backup quarterback that comes in with the ceiling of Tyrod could really lead this thing for some time and win us a ton of games, you know? Whereas a guy like Browning, I think, has the ability to do stuff like that. Mariota, on the other hand, you're right. I mean, Mariota really hasn't been much at all.
And he's not at all what the offense has to change drastically with Mariota compared to Daniels. I think people have the idea that Mariota's a mobile quarterback in his head. Maybe a decade ago, not anymore.
Right, and I think the part with Tyrod makes sense too because he's seen it both ways. Where he was Aaron Rodgers' backup last year, and then Justin Fields comes in as the quarterback. 2 completely different systems, but one consistent is the backup in Tyrod. So you're probably right. I think I would actually flip my list and put Tyrod 3, Mariota 4.
We both have the guy who's had the most success in the league.
By far, not even close.
Dead last, Carson Wentz.
Yeah, Carson Wentz is terrible at football, dude. He is so genuinely bad. Remember him on the Colts a couple years ago?
Yes.
When he was the starter? And I will be the first guy to say, Carson Wentz pre-injury on the Eagles.
So good. He was going to win MVP.
Out of favorite guys to watch on this list, even currently version of them, 2025, Carson Wentz is number 1.
He was.
I am signing up to watch Carson Wentz, man.
He locked up MVP if he just played 3 more games.
Yeah.
It was his.
It was. I mean, the Eagles were really good, and he was really good. He's one of those guys that just he will try to make stuff happen, and currently he can't make a lot of stuff happen in a positive way anymore.
He just complicates everything.
Right.
Oh, Justin Jefferson's wide open. That's great, but allow me to run out to the left, turn my shoulders, and try to pick up an extra 15 yards.
This is why when they traded away Sam Howell to sign Carson Wentz, it was oh, you just signed the 30-year-old version of Sam Howell. That.
Yes.
They're no different. They really are truly no different.
Except Howell's probably a little bit quicker these days.
Yeah.
You know what? We say all this, and what if Wentz just comes in and he's like, whatever you say, KOC, I will run your system. I'm not going to – it's not about me anymore.
Look,
and he just completely proves us all wrong.
I'm a Justin Jefferson owner in one of my dynasty leagues. I'm a bit nervous for how this is going to go the next several weeks under Carson
Well,
Wentz.
it should only be – oh, you're starting Wentz?
No, I'm just saying with Jefferson on my team.
Jefferson.
The next 2 to 4 weeks with Jefferson. I'm a bit nervous with Carson Wentz throwing the football.
What, you feel good about it when JJ was in there? He didn't have a good time. He wasn't getting the ball to JJ.
I guess you're right.
Jefferson.
But we'll see. I don't know. I think it's funny that we both have Wentz here at 5. You remember when Marcus Mariota got the start against Atlanta? Or not against Atlanta, for Atlanta, was their starting quarterback that season and was on the first ever season of the quarterback show?
Yeah, and he just quit.
And then got benched in the middle of the season?
And then
for Desmond
quit.
Ritter? Yeah.
I can't get over that.
All
he
live
got
on TV, too. Yeah.
And walked away. He just said, I'm done. I need to, I don't want to be on this team anymore.
In the middle of being in a season-long documentary, that you knew was going to be public for everyone to see.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, that was crazy stuff.
Okay.
So
everyone in Washington
Matt,
seems to like Mariota, though. He's been there for, 3 years now? 2 years now?
He's been there for several seasons. We saw him play a couple years ago.
Daniels loves him. But I don't know, even though Mariota once upon a time was athletic, when you run those RPO stuff, you have to be so quick with your decision-making. I just don't think he has that in him anymore.
No, I don't think so either.
Hope all the starters get healthy,
So we have
man.
nearly the same list. You just have Mac Jones 1. I have Jake Browning 1.
Yeah, that's more of a coaching thing.
Yeah, I think that's
it's Kyle Shanahan I trust more than Zach Taylor.
Yeah, that's just Kyle Shanahan's just number 1 for whoever his backup is, basically.
Essentially.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, that's around the league. How about this? You guys have about 1 more minute to text in the keyword Tigers and your name to 989-837-6125. When we come back, hopefully we'll have a winner selected. If you texted it in, make sure you stay, alert because we're going to text you. We need a confirmation back from you if we end up selecting you. So hopefully when we come back, we have a winner. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live right here on 100.9 The Mitt. We'll see a winner here shortly. You can see the difference at Midland Eye Care, where your vision is their focus, offering comprehensive eye exams, glasses, contacts, and advanced eye health services. Friendly, knowledgeable staff and a wide selection of stylish frames for every face and budget. Locally owned and trusted by families throughout the Midland area, while offering comprehensive eye care services and in-demand lenses and frames. Whether you're updating your prescription or just checking in on your eye health, they've got you covered. Book your appointment today and start seeing clearer tomorrow at Midland Eye Care.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt's Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Terry Johnson, President and CEO of Greater Midland.
What faced the most challenges for you? Like, is there a certain role that you were like, public, I know you said public affairs, but there was a certain time period or maybe even a certain event where you're like, okay, this is a challenge I can now take with me throughout my entire career, or any advice that you have for like young professionals that you learned maybe from like a certain lesson?
Yeah, two things come to mind. One, for a period of my Dow career, I managed crisis communications. So nothing's more challenging or a better learning opportunity is when you're kind of feet in the fire, when there's things going on.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
At Sandy Ridge, our completely renovated clubhouse is ready for you. With a brand new full kitchen, a spacious deck, and plenty of room for any event, it's the perfect spot for weddings, parties, or any special gathering. And that's not all. Our whole 16 green has been redesigned and is better than ever. Plus, our greens are the truest around, on par with the top courses, but at a price that fits your budget. Come visit us today at Sandy Ridge and see why we're the perfect choice for your next event.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Loons ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's a Tri-Valley Conference matchup this Friday. The 3-0 John Glenn Bobcats out of Bay City face the 2-1 Swan Valley Vikings from Saginaw. Pre-game coverage at 6:50 on Friday.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt.
Into the end zone.
The Michigan State Spartans.
Touchdown, MSU.
Heard right here on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports.
The Spartans playing late night on Saturday out at the LA Coliseum facing the Trojans of Southern Cal. MSU, USC, kickoff at 11 p.m., presented by Weiss Equipment.
Don't miss a moment of Spartans football on Sports Radio 100.9.
Let's give them what they want.
Do it!
100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think the Lions ran up the scoreboard on Ben Johnson on purpose to rub it in. I think the Lions' defense is just scratching the surface on becoming a dominant top 10 unit. I think Bryce Underwood is a future Heisman winner, but not quite yet. And I think Tarek Skubal is less than a month away from becoming the best Tigers pitcher of the 21st century. Oh, and I think if you agree or disagree with anything I just said, you should listen to The Ben Bosscher Show, live from 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt, built by Bresky Siding and Repair.
From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, we've got a winner. Congratulations to Aaron. You are going to the Tigers game on Sunday, the last regular season home game of 2025. Hopefully not the last game in general at Comerica Park. There'll be some playoff games there. Maybe we'll send someone there. Who knows? But again, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet for making Big Win Wednesday possible. Aaron, our winner today. If you didn't win this week, don't worry. Got a chance to win next week as well, and the week after, and the week after that, because we're always giving away stuff on Wednesdays. All right, with that being said, let's dive into another Lions thing. Dave Phipp, the special teams coordinator, please, for the love of God, can we stop using Grant Stewart as a kick returner? If you had to guess, Kyle, where do you think Grant Stewart in his career long as a kick returner, because he's never done this until this year. No one else has tried him out there, maybe because he's a linebacker. But his longest kick return as a Lion, what do you think it is?
Oh, I mean, probably like 25 yards.
28.
Yeah.
You go out to the 35. That ranks 49th among 72 players who have returned a kick this season in the NFL. I'm going to say that again. Grant Stewart's longest kick return with the Lions is 28 yards. That ranks 49th of 72 returners. Dave Phipp, what are we doing? What is this experiment that the Lions are trying to run? He is a linebacker. He has not a ton of upside back there. He doesn't have the breakaway speed, in my opinion, to ever have a kick return go for 7 or go for 6. He doesn't have the speed to get to the other end zone. And if you don't have the speed to get to the end zone, then why are you a kick returner at all? I don't understand the logic behind what Dave Phipp and the Detroit Lions special teams are trying here. It was a fun little preseason project. I didn't expect it to leak into this season, and I'm kind of just in disbelief every time he's returning a kick for the Lions. I don't know why Isaac Tesla's not back there. That feels like a good way to get him involved if they're not going to have him out there for every offensive snap. Craig Reynolds, a candidate to be back there. Sounds like Sione Vaki's going to be healthy this week. I'm just so over the Grant Stewart experience back there.
I would typically come on here and be like, dude, why are we complaining about kick returning in the middle of September?
Because it's crazy what they're doing.
True, but I will say I'm not going to do that because of how important this kick return stuff has been this season. Like, coming into the season, obviously you know all the rules and you hear about how it's going to be. You don't really think about how impactful it will be until you actually see it happen through the first 2 weeks. I mean, we already have the Steelers benching their rookie running back over this. You know, it is clear that this stuff is vitally important to the game, way more than it has been in years past. So
we had an Eagles trade for a kick returner.
Right, exactly. So this is clearly something that matters a lot more than it has. So, yeah, I think that the fact that Grant Stewart is still out there is pretty surprising. Even Sailors as well. It kind of was not the star of preseason, but just one of those guys that shined in preseason, has gotten some run in that spot. I would like them to try out some other guys. Hey, maybe your boy Malik Cunningham. Maybe that's a spot for him, you know?
Malik Cunningham is a kick returner?
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Trying to find a role for him, you know? Like if he does as a reward for coming in and being on the practice squad this week.
I don't know. I don't think he gets elevated, but if he did,
no, he totally does.
That would be the reason to have him back there. I mean, you may as well have like Anthony Pittman back there. It doesn't make sense why they have Grant Stewart as a kick returner in 2025. Everyone's like not experimenting, but taking a priority in this, and the Lions are zagging and like, oh, we figured out a way. No, you didn't. He ranks 49th among 72 returners for their longest kick return. Doesn't make any sense.
I will say, like, as much as it is important and everything, and I just did that argument, like, at the end of the day, the kick returning part of the football game is still at the bottom of the totem pole, right? Like, this still isn't something that we should be ultra worried about at the end of the day.
I'm not worried about it. I just can't make sense of it. It's annoying when he catches the ball, runs just as hard as he can, straight line, can't cut or make anybody miss. Like, there's no jukes. There's no, I make this guy miss. It's just head down.
There's no ball carrier attributes.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
it's just run as hard as you can, try to get to the 30-yard line. He's not done it once. Not once.
Yeah.
That's the part to me that's the most frustrating about it. Especially like he's had the fumble in preseason too. I thought that was going to be the end of the experience, and it hasn't been. I want Isaac Tesla back there. Like, I don't get why that's not a way to involve
him. Get him the football. Yeah, we got to find ways to get him the ball, that's for sure.
Vaki, I think, is going to be that person this week. He's been dealing with the hamstring injuries basically forever. Yeah, I don't know when he hasn't been dealing with hamstring injuries, but that feels like an easy replacement for him. I can't do it anymore, man. It's only been 2 weeks. He's only returned 3 kicks, and all 3 of them, it's been like, what is this? What am I watching right now? There's no ball carrier attributes. That's a good way to put it with Grant Stewart. It's frustrating, to say the least. I don't like it.
Yeah, hopefully something can come out of this. Because, I mean, the thing is, like, if he has one good kick return, all of a sudden we're not complaining anymore, right?
Yeah, I guess.
That's the way that this kick returning stuff goes. Like, you do it good one time, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, what a play from Grant Stewart, So, at the end of the day, I don't know personally how upset I can be about kick returning. But I think that the Tesla point is good, just because that's a guy who we want to see have the ball more frequently, and this would be a way to do so.
Because him in the preseason, like when he caught that crossing route in the first preseason game and like got moving full speed, it was like, whoa, what is this? Like, this guy's enormous and has some speed to him. We haven't really been able to see that speed because, well, both of his catches have been, one for a touchdown and one on the sideline where there was no yak afterwards. I want to see some of that speed, and if they're not going to use him all the time on offense, I mean, Khalif Raymond basically doubled him in snaps. Why not use Isaac Tesla as a punt returner or a kick returner is what I meant to say. That's where I would like to see Dave Phipp go with that if I'm a Detroit Lions fan. It's a small thing, but it feels like it's a growing thing amongst the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, but it also is something that throughout all preseason we've been kind of eyeballing Dave Phipp a little bit, just with the way things have been going. So he's kind of under
many penalties.
Yeah, he's kind of under a microscope currently, just with how things haven't gone well on special teams since the start of August. So this kind of just adds to it.
And it feels like they're trying to big brain everyone. Here, we're going to zag while everyone's zigging. Everyone's trying to find these awesome kick returners. Well, we've got a guy who's just a hard runner.
Is the answer just as simple as like Sione Vaki's not healthy?
Sure, that might be it. But then why is your replacement Grant Stewart? Right. That still doesn't answer that question.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's a special teams guy. Use him in special teams, not as a kick returner, though. Right? That's the part to me that's like, what is going on? It's just like big brain energy. Like, I'm the smartest guy in the room, so we're gonna do this while everyone's doing that. It's like, no, maybe you should just do what everyone else is doing, because that seems to be working for everybody else. With all the penalties and the punts and the kick returns, it just feels like, yeah, if we're looking at anybody right now of all the coordinators, Dave Phipp's kind of the guy where it's like, this is kind of underperforming right now, to say the least. Also, Jake Bates missed a field goal, so there's that. But yeah, not that that's really on Dave Phipp, but it's something to kind of look at and be like, I don't really know what's going on here. That's the part of the game for me with the Lions. It's probably most frustrating right now. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. Want to jump back into that Tigers game from last night because, man, that was a gut punch, wasn't it? Kerry Bonds almost saves the game, puts the hero vest on once again. But ironically, it's vest that blows the game for the Detroit Tigers. Also, Torkelson, you could make an argument way earlier on in the 6th inning is part of the big reason that the Tigers lost as well. We'll get into that. I want to do worst NFL fan situations, which fan base is struggling the most through 2 weeks. We'll get to the news again. We'll do our 2 traditions to close out every single show. One more time, I want to thank our friends at Garber Chevrolet for making Big Win Wednesday possible. Congrats to Aaron. He's going to the Tigers game this Sunday, thanks to our friends over at Garber Chevrolet and Big Win Wednesday. All right, it's the Ben Bosscher Show, 11 o'clock hour on the way here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Broken appliance? Don't panic. Call Mr. Appliance. With a 4.9-star Google rating, our expert service professionals deliver speedy service with a 1-year done-right promise, so you can count on long-lasting repairs. We treat your home or business with care, no mess, and no trace left behind. Ask about our appliance wellness program to keep things running smoothly year-round. Visit us online at MrAppliance.com for easy online scheduling and local contact information. Mr. Appliance, speedy, trusted, guaranteed.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. Got house projects you push till the fall? Get the right tools. Select Milwaukee Power Tools. Buy one, get one free, including the brushless drill and impact driver kit. Keep that deck looking brand spanking new. Save $5 instantly on Thompson's Water Seal Wood Sealer and $10 on a gallon of cabinet exterior stain. And download the Ace app and get a $10 instant bonus.
Since 2007, the Michigan Baseball Foundation has invested over $1.8 million into our communities, supporting over 350 projects across 14 Michigan counties. From restoring Alma Little League fields to creating nature-based classrooms at the Chippewa Nature Center and enhancing accessibility at the middle of the Mitt Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
(989-837-6125). 11 o'clock hour here on the Ben Bosscher Show. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Wednesday so far. 11 o'clock hour, as always, brought to you by Yiter Insurance. Life happens fast. Then at Yiter Insurance Group, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned and trusted in Midland for decades, they treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yiter has the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes simple makes insurance simple. With expert advice and real people you can actually talk to. Yiter Insurance Group will be there when you need us since 1940. All right, this Tigers game that happened yesterday, infuriating, to say the least. I really thought we were going to get another Kerry Bonds moment of, oh my God, Kerry Bonds, the clutchest Tiger of all time. Like, those were thoughts that were going through my head. We were about to do a segment today. Yes, we were going to do a segment that was, is Kerry Bonds the clutchest Detroit Tiger of all time? Unfortunately, we can't do that because Will Vest comes in and instantly in the 10th inning gives up 4 straight extra base hits. It's a game that the Tigers really needed. Not because they're fighting for a playoff spot, but because, like, let's not sweat this thing out. Let's prove that they're an awesome baseball team again, or that we're an awesome baseball team if you're the Tigers. Because they've been average for 30 days. They've been average for 60 days. They've been an average ball club ever since the All-Star break, really. They got to their 20 games over 500, and ever since then, they've just kind of been an average ball club. That's where they've been floating around for a long time. 19 games over 500 right now. Look, they still have a 97% chance to win the division, but I think that's actually lower than the math suggests because the Guardians have all these opportunities to get games in the standings. They're 5.5 out right now. They've got 5 games against the Tigers left. And the Guardians have been the team that have had the Tigers number here in the division over the past couple of seasons. Flaherty's on the mound tonight. He's had some success against the Guardians. But, man, you lose tonight, and all of a sudden it's like you lost this series. You're going to be 4.5 games out. Minnesota's up next for Cleveland. They get to play them for 4 straight games. And, the Tigers get to play Atlanta, but they still have some nice players on the team. So, hopefully, the Tigers can pick up some wins there. But then you play Cleveland again. It's like, all right, you lose 2 of 3 again. And now we're really worried about this last series with Tigers playing Boston and who does Cleveland play to close out the season?
Texas, which they're playing good. That could be an important series as far as maybe a wild card implications, but not quite as good as Boston, obviously.
With how well Casey Mize pitched yesterday and Kerry Bonds actually tying it up in the 9th inning, it felt like yesterday was the perfect day at home, extra innings, get this thing done and get the monkey off your back and not clinch the division, but like be one step closer to that. Instead, they took a step backwards, and it was a gut punch for Tigers fans. It was devastating, and now all of a sudden we come into the show, we come into the studio on Wednesday, and it's like kind of pulling your hair out. It's like, I don't want to do the "Are you nervous to lose the division?" topic again, but it feels like we kind of have to.
But if you are nervous, then I feel like it kind of is valid, right? So I do want to ask you this though, because yesterday the topic, or it wasn't really a topic, but you kind of just came across this where you talked about prioritizing a division title over anything, right? Like that's got to be the number one priority for Detroit, is just to finally win the division for the first time in X years. I know that they should have higher aspirations, but at the end of the day, they haven't done it in a decade. And then on the show today, it was like God, do I even feel good about this team in the playoffs to be a World Series team? So I'm just asking you, based off of one game and the loss last night, has that changed for you as far as, like, is it still just win the division? Is that still the number one thing, or are you looking past that?
Yeah, I don't want to jump too far ahead because I think the division is the most important thing right now. Like, if you want to say, well, what are you talking about? It's the World Series. Sure, but you have to win the division first. I think a lot of times teams start looking ahead. Or you even saw this with the Lions last year. Nah, I guess they did the opposite. They've always prioritized winning the division, right? And with the Tigers not having a division title since 2014, I do think there is some benefit to, last year they had that entire playoff celebration. You remember that on the field? It was like, hey,
yeah.
It looked like a World Series celebration. All they did was clinch a playoff spot for the first time in a decade. I don't know if they'll do that for a division title, the extreme celebration like that, especially knowing they'll probably be on the road for it. Actually, that's not true. They can get hot and clinch it as soon as, Saturday now. The magic number 7, but they could clinch the division early because of the head-to-head stuff versus Cleveland.
Yeah, the issue is Cleveland is playing so well, and you would need other teams to beat them as well.
They've won 10 of their last 11 games. So I don't know. In terms of the priority, I still think winning the division has to be like baseline level. Let's do that before we start talking about this team as a World Series teams. But, I mean, it's only human nature to start thinking ahead and asking yourself, can you beat some of the teams around the American League? And I think for a while earlier on in the season, we were comparing the Tigers to other teams in the American League because it felt like they had the division wrapped up. because they had a 11.5 game lead, 13.5 game lead at some point this season, and now it's down to 5.5, and you play Cleveland 5 more times. All right, let's stop worrying about the World Series and just focus on this for the rest of the regular season.
Yeah, especially with, I think, just how detrimental it would be if this wasn't one. Because I guess the reason why maybe we weren't prioritizing it was because of how much of a lock it was, right? Like it wasn't even a question of like, oh, are they going to win the division? It was, we're looking past that because they have already won the division. This thing's wrapped up. And it, once again, it's not really because the Tigers have been playing bad. It's not like they're choking this division away. They're playing 500 baseball. Sure, so are a lot of the top teams in baseball along this final stretch of the year. It's because of how good Cleveland has been. Like, they have really clawed their way back into this. So it's a combination of both things. But now that there actually is a scenario that, wow, this could truly be one of the bigger chokes we've seen from a Detroit team in quite some time, that, of course, is going to make you a little bit nervous because the thought of that actually happening is really depressing.
I don't want it to happen.
Right.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to either. You know, I still think it would take a lot of bad things to go wrong for it to happen.
All I'm saying is I think it's a lot more likely that it happens than the 2.3% chance that the math says it. Would you agree with that? Like, Fangraphs has the playoff really calculator. You think it's only a 2.3% chance that they don't win this division?
I just really don't agree because, like, I think we're only thinking that way because of what happened last year. You know? The way that things went down last year is going to maybe skew our look at the playoff percentages for any sport for a long time, right?
Sure. Yeah, that's fair.
At the end of the day, they're 5.5 games back. There's 5 games left against Cleveland. So in the super-duper rare scenario that Cleveland wins all of those games, which, let's just preface that. That's not even going to happen. But sure, let's say they win every game. The Tigers still have the lead. They still control their own destiny against Atlanta and Texas. Or Atlanta and Boston, excuse me. So that's why I still think that playoff percentage thing is fair because, one, that probably is in that same spot because Fangraphs believes Detroit is a better team than Cleveland, and they play them 5 times. So
I think that one's solely based off just math, like 50-50 chance to win every game.
True,
I don't think it weighs
exactly.
into consideration how good a team is.
That's a good point, yeah. Also, there's 2 Tarek Skubal starts against Cleveland, 10 this season.
Yep.
That really helps.
Yep.
You know, that if that's 2 wins, then all of a sudden Cleveland really has some work to do outside of it. I don't think they're going to lose the division, the Tigers. I think the thing I'm starting to be worried about is if Cleveland sneaks into the playoffs and then has an opportunity in the wild card round to upset one of the teams and then they play Detroit, that's the one that I'm a little that's the one that I would not be happy about. That would make me scared.
Well, if Flaherty balls out tonight and they pick up a win tonight, I think we can kind of start to rest easy at night knowing, all right, they still have some work to do, but it's probably only a matter of time.
Yeah, just win tonight,
They lose
man.
tonight, and all of a sudden we're panicking even more tomorrow because I don't know what the odds would drop to. Probably, 90. Like, still very likely chance that they win the division, but then it's like 4.5 games.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
that's pretty.
That number's way lower than it's been at any point this season since May.
Maybe I'm being a little bit too optimistic as far as I think they're still going to win.
And I'm not trying to tear you down here.
No, but
I'm
you
just,
are right because as soon as you say that and I envision that scenario, I start to feel the same way as you. Like, I'm
going to be losing sleep tonight if they lose the game. Like that, I think that's the best way I can put it. They lose tonight, and it's going to be like, oh no, like. Right now, we're having the conversation about, like, hey, are you nervous? Tomorrow, I'm nervous. Tomorrow, I'm really nervous about if they lose tonight. Tomorrow, I'm walking in like I'm a little panicky.
I think that's the best way to put it. Yeah.
Ugh. Let's just win tonight and get it over with. It wouldn't be over. Like, you still have to win tonight and tomorrow for us to really be like, all right, this thing's a wrap. Just win a couple more games and it's officially a wrap. But man, like let's just prove that this is a good baseball team again. They're not a 500 club. If you want to prove that you're not a 500 club, you got to start winning some of these games. And that's all they've been for 60 days. In fact, over the last 60 days, they're 1 game under 500. Over the past 30 days, they're 1 game under 500. So who are they? Are they the team we saw in the first half of the season? Or is this the team that's average? We'll see. I think tonight says a lot about this Tigers team. 989-837-6125. Hope everyone's having a good Wednesday so far. Let's get to the Mitt messages here. This one's from Mike. He says, would you prefer this year's scenario or last year's? I don't like watching them try to tread water to get into the playoffs and be sent home in the first series. I'd like last year's better. I don't know. I like winning in the regular season more. Preferably you don't have that race.
You felt good about the team more last year, or at least you were having more fun with the team last year at this time, but you have to feel better in general this year, right? Just because the team is better.
Let's not forget, Mike, 80% of last year sucked.
Yeah.
80% of last year was not fun.
At this point in the year last year, they weren't a playoff team, they still had work to do, whereas we are just probably a lock to make it at this point.
I definitely prefer this to what happened last year, because last year was one of those, I'll be telling my kids about the 2023 or 2024 Tigers, even though they didn't win a World Series. Yeah. But that can't happen every year. Then it loses its meaning. That was one of the most tremendous runs any baseball team's ever been on. You'll be telling your kids about this
season if they win the World Series.
Exactly. It'll be a combined thing. It'll be like, look what happened this year, then look what happened the following year.
The only thing is I'll say that maybe I do prefer this just from an emotional standpoint of, last year there was no room for failure. There wasn't any way that the season was going to end, and I was like, what a failure of a season.
The playoffs started early last year, right? Is that what you're saying? Is that not what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying, the way that the season ended last year, I was never going to look at it and be like, what a failure of it. I wasn't going to be let down at all, no matter what happened, just because of the hot streak that they went on. Whereas this season, there is so much room for failure and depression and letdown. So that maybe is the only from an emotional standpoint, maybe I enjoyed last year better. But this season as whole, expectation-wise, has been longevity way better.
I think this year there's more upside with this team, though.
Yeah.
You have a chance to really achieve something. Because at the end of the day, only one team's fan base gets to really, have a good end to their season. This year, the Tigers, I feel like, have a legit chance of that. And I wouldn't trade that for anything right now. But, yeah, it's a lot of pressure on this team right now, to say the least. 989-837-6125. Let's go back to the NFL when we come back. I want to do the worst fan situations across the league. What team is in the dumps the most? 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Do we have any spray paint?
Why?
I need lots of paint. I'm going to paint the house.
I don't think so.
But it looks bad.
Well, you can't spray paint the house.
And then let's call Bresky Siding and Building Repair. They can do it.
Is your siding looking faded, worn out, or just in need of an update? Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your siding, roofing, and gutter needs.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Addison Thormeyer from Farwell High School. With a 3.7 GPA, Addison is a member of the track and field and cross-country teams and played soccer for travel teams competing up in age with girls and playing with the boys.
Oh, I should go try out for the boys team. Why not? Because he was the coach for that team. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Worst thing that happens is they don't make the team. So I go and try out, and he ends up calling me and saying, hey, I want you to come play for me. And it became a lot of fun, ended up being a totally different experience than playing with the girls, and one I don't regret having.
This fall, Addison is now attending Saginaw Valley State University. She'll major in electrical engineering. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
At Aird Insurance Group, they're more than just policies. They're your trusted partners in protecting what matters most.
Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, their team takes the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage for your unique situation.
With personalized service and unbeatable rates, Aird Insurance Group makes protecting your future easy.
Call Aird Insurance Group today and see why their clients trust them to keep them covered.
Aird Insurance Group.
The experience matters.
Whether you love them or can't stand them, surprises are a part of life. I'm Kevin Spencer, your Midland Edward Jones financial advisor, and I can help you get ready for whatever life throws at you, even the welcome surprises. As your needs change, we can change what you need to do to help you end up where you want to be. And while there is never a good time to experience unexpected costs, We can work together to make them feel a little less unexpected.
Edward Jones Financial Advisor Kevin Spencer at 416 West Wackerly in Midland, under the green awning.
The new rebranded Matt Smith Modern Realty.
Well, Matt Smith Outdoors was really reflective of how I started my real estate journey, taking my outdoor experience, moving that into the real estate space to help people buy and sell land. So many people in this region ended up calling me and wanting me to work with them to help them buy and sell homes. This new brand was more reflective of what I'm delivering to people in this region every day.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's a Tri-Valley Conference matchup this Friday. The 3-0 John Glenn Bobcats out of Bay City face the 2-1 Swan Valley Vikings from Saginaw. Pre-game coverage at 6:50 on Friday.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford. From Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
What fan base is in the most hell right now in the NFL? What fan base is just through 2 weeks and is like, I can't wait for the season to be over already? Certainly not the Lions fans, obviously, Super Bowl contender. But I think the Bears fans are near the very top of this list, if they're not already. This is kind of what inspired this topic. I have a Bears friend, have a couple Bears friends in my life. They're down in the dumps, man. I hate the Bears. I almost feel bad for the fans sometimes, though. They didn't deserve this. They don't deserve how stupid their GM is. He's drafted 34 Pro Bowlers, or 34 players, and 0 of them have been Pro Bowls. Drafted Colson Loveland over Tyler Warren last year, which was just like inconceivable at the time and looks even more stupid now. I think the Bears fans, for how much expectation there was with Ben Johnson being hired and Caleb in year 2, and pretty much all the blame from last season got put on the coaching staff, and now to just see all of those problems, arise again, and Ben Johnson even like publicly in a interview yesterday, like questioning some of the players' work habits and stuff and ethics. It's like, oh man, like that is not the stuff you want to hear your head coach saying. I think the Bears might be at the top of this list considering the expectation.
Yeah, I think I also have the Bears as probably the most tortured fan base in the NFL currently, just because of the amount of times, and maybe this is their own fault, so maybe it doesn't count, but every year it's like, oh, this is the year that they're out of it. Where at least some of these other fan bases, they don't have that. They just know that things aren't going to go well. Whereas for the Bears, it feels like every season it's like, finally, this is the year that they're out of hell. They have the first overall pick. They fleece the Panthers in this trade. Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, the best hired coach of the century, basically. All this stuff goes down, and then we're 3 weeks into the season and nothing's changed. This just happens every single season. So yeah, I do have the Bears as a part of my list for worst fan situations.
Are they number one, or did you have another team ahead of them? I didn't write down a list. I just wanted to throw out 3 or 4 that came to mind.
I wrote a top 5. The Bears are atop my list. They're number 1. Because it's just they and also I think just the Chicago thing of they just go back on that 85 Bears team so much. That just gets brought up so much.
90s basketball
too. That's so long ago, man. It truly is so long ago. So yeah, I do have them number 1. Number 2 though,
I mean, it has to be the Panthers,
right?
It
is the Panthers for multiple reasons. It's funny that these two teams are 1 and 2 based on the humongous trade that was made. Getting fleeced out of Caleb Williams the way that they did, truly one of the worst trades ever, and the fact that it hasn't worked out for the Bears even makes it funnier. This Panthers rebuild
Why did they have to give up DJ Moore? I still don't understand that part of it.
I also don't. It's just the fact that this Panthers rebuild now has basically been going on for 4 seasons now and has made zero progress. Like there has been not even an ounce moved forward for Carolina.
Doesn't it feel like their defense has gotten worse?
Yeah,
I mean, it's by far the worst defense in the league.
It feels like everything has gotten worse. I mean, remember when J.C. Horn came in as a rookie? Like, wow, this guy's kind of a stud. And then now it's just like...
He's like an average corner.
Now he's really not. Exactly. They probably have the worst owner in the NFL in David Tepper. At least the owner that everyone hates. Jerry Jones. Could be him. Tepper's definitely a close second. Everyone hates him.
But Tepper's just like a bad guy.
He's a bad dude. Yeah, I mean, what, we're saying Jerry Jones isn't a bad guy?
Well, I'm sure Jerry Jones is a bad guy too, but like Tepper's I don't know.
He's for sure a bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Carolina for sure is number 1, second longest active playoff drought in the NFL as well. They're a very tortured fan base. Number 3 though.
I mean, the fact that the Saints still haven't been named.
Really? I don't have the Saints in my top 5.
Well, you think they're just like kind of having fun? They're like, woo, Spencer Rattler's kind of.
They're going to be bad and draft a quarterback in next year's draft. Like what?
And then they're still going to be bad.
They've been good for so long, man. Like they've won a Super Bowl in the 21st century. Like,
but I'm not talking about like last 5 years, last 10 years. I'm talking about like this season. Who is having the least amount of fun right now? Who is enjoying football the least on Sundays? I mean, the Rattler has balled out a little bit, but at the same time, I still think that team is just very,
but
very
you're good.
bad.
But like, what, you want to be good, so you don't get the top pick to draft a quarterback? Like, you just sometimes
I think
you have
tanking
to go,
is fake.
Sometimes you have to go through this, dude.
There's no such thing as tanking in the NFL. No one wants to lose games in this league. It's just not a thing until week 15 or 16.
The Saints probably want to lose games.
I refuse to believe it.
What's their other option? You know, like. You win 7 games, all of a sudden you have the 9th pick, and you just can't draft the quarterback that you want for the future. You're
I
stuck
don't
with
think
Rattler
that's
still?
a real thing in football. It is in basketball because the top end talent in the draft is so much different than the than the 15th pick.
Yes,
there's generational guys at the top, or not generational, but like there's guys that can change your franchise at the top of every
all over
NBA
the draft.
in
the NFL, yeah.
Well, yeah, in the NFL, it's totally different though. Yeah. Like there's guys everywhere that can help your team in the first round. I don't think any team goes into the season thinking we know we're not going to be good. I just don't think that's a thing. And for that reason, I think the Saints are still.
I can't believe that the Cleveland
the
Browns felt that way going into the season. Who is my number? That's
a good transition.
I truly cannot believe that the Cleveland Browns came into the season thinking, "Hey, we might have a chance to be good." They're actually my number 4 team. The Browns, I mean, just they're the most cursed longevity-wise as well. The fact that maybe they thought that, this is years ago now, but haven't had a quarterback forever. Baker Mayfield shining the way that he is has to hurt Browns fans more than ever. Deshaun Watson, that whole situation. You draft 2 quarterbacks in this year's draft, and Joe Flacco is the guy that starts. At least they have Myles Garrett. I think that kind of is why I have them a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Like, Myles Garrett is so sick, and as far as watching football on Sundays, he's so fun to watch. So that kind of helps their case a little bit here to be down at number 4. But yeah, the Browns got to be on this list.
Yeah, that's fair. But they have Shedeur Sanders though, so that makes it a little bit better. That makes it like 10% better in some way, shape, or form, timing. Right? People just talk about your team at least.
Okay, but the team that we skipped though, at number 3, Ben, name me the last time that the New York Jets made the playoffs.
2011, right?
2010. Which is twice as long as any other team in the NFL. The Panthers and Falcons, which the Falcons, by the way, not making it for 7 years, kind of shocked me. 7 seasons for tied for second. 14 years for the Jets that have made the playoffs. That's the longest drought in professional American sports, not just in the NFL, across all leagues. 14 seasons that the Jets haven't made it. Think about how bad. I mean, people were picking the Jets to win the Super Bowl last year, Ben.
Not us.
Right.
Let's be very clear about that. Not us.
And the year before. Like the 2 years of Aaron Rodgers, their roster truly was, on paper, one of the better rosters in all of the NFL.
Because their defense was sick.
I still picked them to be a playoff team last year. As out as I was on Rodgers, I was like, it doesn't matter. This roster is way too good, and they still were putrid. Like, the Jets fan base is just absolutely tortured. They benefit from the fact that they're, sharing city team, New York Giants, aren't any good either. If they were good, then it would be really bad. But the Jets are obviously one of the more tortured fan bases in the league.
And they just know no matter what happens, they have a lunatic owner who wants to be is as involved as humanly possible with every decision that gets to be
Yes,
made,
dude,
which is never, ever actually helps a team in the NFL.
Great point, because Tepper, I think, might be the worst owner in the league from this guy just sucks. Woody Johnson might be the craziest owner in the league. Yeah, he might just be the most psycho owner in the league.
Well, no one compares to Jerry because he's actually the GM.
Yeah, Jerry's on his own thing.
But in terms of people who hire GMs and then basically tell them how to run the team, Woody's number one.
I mean, the whole story of Woody Johnson flying Aaron Rodgers, and I don't like Rodgers, by the way. The whole story of him flying Aaron Rodgers out to New York, bring him into his office, and having him in there for 20 seconds to be like, yeah, we're just going to go in a different direction. And then he left is truly just...
You know how much money you have to do that? I'll just fly this guy out here.
And just how much you don't have to care about a human's feelings or anything like that. Just a crazy play.
There's another team that just has to be on here, though.
Who do you got? Because I have one that you're not going to like. But give me yours.
Miami fans, they just have to be on here.
Sure.
I mean, when you know going into the season, my coach is going to be fired at some point this year. And then you watch the first 2 weeks play out.
My coach.
Yeah. And then you watch week 1 play out and you're like, oh my God, it's even worse than we possibly could have thought. At least Miami has some decent players. But man, when you're watching your team and you know the culture's broken and it's just being held together by shoestrings and super glue, the team, that's just got to be a terrible feeling when you know you're this is just not going to work.
Yeah.
And now this year feels wasted. Probably more than any other team. This year probably feels wasted for Miami fans, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Because this was a good team with all these players were good a couple years
it's
ago.
It's just all the off the field stuff, really playing into it with Tua and with Tyreek, just so much stuff off the field that I, as a fan, is the most annoying stuff in the world to deal with because you just care about the on-field product, obviously.
I think they're the only fan base to boo their own team so far this season.
Really? They've already booed their own team?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's pretty bad.
85 degrees and sunny in Miami, man. They don't want to be watching terrible football, and that's what they're stuck doing.
Okay, my last one. You're not going to like this one. It's number 5.
Is it the Jags?
No. It's a team much, much better than the Jags. It's the Buffalo Bills.
Ooh.
Just knowing that every season will be put to an end by Patrick Mahomes has to be the worst feeling in human history.
And you know what's going to be even funnier?
When it happens again this year when the Bills go 15-2 and the Chiefs barely sneak into the playoffs.
No, what if they beat the Chiefs this year and then Lamar Jackson gets them?
That would be actually so bad. Oh, that'd be so terrible. It's just, and this is a bad one because obviously every Sunday the Bills fans have to have some of the best times ever. They're one of the best teams in the league. They have the MVP, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And so it obviously, there's much more tortured fan bases. But from a long-term outlook, the Bills obviously going in the 90s, 4 straight Super Bowls, didn't win any of them. And now they just lose to Mahomes every single season. No matter if you beat him in the regular season, they can do that. The playoffs, knowing that he is there to take you out, has to be... It has to, if I was a Bills fan, I would struggle to care about the regular season. I truly would.
For sure.
Because I would just be it doesn't matter. We're just going to lose Mahomes again.
It's like LeBron back in his prime. It's we're just coasting.
Any team in the Eastern Conference, they would just I don't care about the regular season, man. All I can think about is LeBron. That's probably how, if I was a Bills fan, I would think about Mahomes.
I've got a couple more.
Okay.
The Bengals, I feel just have to be on here because it's really this again? How is this still a problem?
Group sucks.
Ownership group sucks. Cheapest organization in the league. And the same problem just continues to be the problem that haunts their franchise for ever since they drafted Joe Burrow. They can't protect him. It's like a broken record. It's just the same thing over and over and over again. I don't know how they haven't managed to fix that.
A lot of the former Bengals players do not come back to Cincinnati.
Oh,
they don't feel highly about the organization. That's a major red flag.
Look what happened with Trey Hendrickson.
Right.
Perfect example. And then I have the Titans on here too, simply because I think their head coach might just be stupid. And I don't throw the word stupid around all that often, but I don't think he actually knows some of the rules to the NFL book. The challenges are terrible. The situation,
any fan base that
for
really hates their coach, that's got to be pretty miserable.
Callahan, what is the Titans' identity? Or under Brian Callahan, what are we supposed to be doing here? That's going to do it for the fan bases who hate their teams the most so far. through 2 weeks in the NFL season. We'll hit the news when we come back. 2 traditions later on. It's the Ben Bosscher Show right here on 100.9 The Mitt. Hey, usually I tell you about how after the show, I'm going to go to the Midland Community Center. Still a great place to go. Played a basketball game there last night. Today, Colin and I are going to Sandy Ridge, Midland's hidden gem, where every round feels like a little bit of a getaway. Now featuring a brand new clubhouse, part lounge, part hangout, all class. Perfect for cooling down or talking a little bit of smack after 18. You going to be talking smack today, Kyle?
Of course. Right in your ear.
I don't like that. Usually we're pretty good.
I'm just
usually
kidding.
we're on the same page.
I will not be talking smack.
Smooth green, scenic fairways, and enough birdies to make your buddies jealous. Over under on birdies today. 1.5 or
Between
0.5?
the both of us?
Yeah.
0.5. I mean,
whether you're a weekend warrior or just there for the chill vibes, Sandy Ridge brings the game and the chill. Book a tee time, plan your outing, or just stop by and pretend you know how to read a green. Sandy Ridge Golf Course, the hidden gem that's
the
way
over's
too
like
good
plus
to stay
250 too. Like,
gotta break.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text Clean Card to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
Mountain View Restaurant at Apple Mountain, where casual elegance meets breathtaking views. Our new expanded menu features a wide variety of dishes to satisfy every palate, from fresh seasonal options to your all-time favorites. Whether you're hosting a client lunch, enjoying happy hour, or planning a date night, we have the perfect setting for every occasion. Don't miss our weekly features and refreshing beverages. In the summer, dine al fresco on our beautiful patio and soak in the scenery. Mountain View, where great food meets spectacular views.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
When you want NFL football on the radio.
It is another defensive touchdown. Wow, he got hammered, dude.
You know where to turn.
Let's go. Come on.
This week is no different.
Somebody go make a play. We can never lose our competitiveness.
Thursday night football is here.
An AFC East clash in Orchard Park. The Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Coverage at 7:30 presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Looms. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the MHSAA, are the 292,000 high school sports students in Michigan. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible, because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Ben Bosscher Show live right here on 100.9 The Mitt. Hope everyone's having a good Wednesday, hump day, halfway through the week. Doesn't it kind of feel like during football season, really Tuesday and Wednesdays are the only days you got to get through? Because Monday, like even through Monday, you've got the Monday night games. Next week, it's even better because the Lions play on Monday. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, no football. And then Thursday, football's back, and it's like, awesome. Thursday night football's on tonight on Amazon Prime. And then it's Friday, and it's the weekend.
So you're just out on Tuesdays and Thursdays in football season?
Tuesdays and Wednesdays?
Or sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not out on, well, Tuesday's my least favorite day of the week in general.
At least we still have baseball on. Like, it's going to get worse once baseball's not on.
No, you're right about that. Tuesdays are my least favorite day of the week. Just in general. Monday, at least you're like motivated for the week.
I'm not a Wednesday guy.
No?
But Wednesday's like the pre to Thursday, and Thursday's a new Friday, so Wednesday's basically Thursday. So
that's why I don't like Tuesdays.
Yeah, maybe Tuesday is the worst day.
Because Monday you can at least like be motivated. Here's how I'm going to start my week.
I don't mind Mondays. You know, people are always out on Mondays. I actually despise Sunday nights more than anything.
What?
I've
waited all day for Sunday nights.
Well, no, and football, like just from a week, like not even taking sports into consideration. Now we're getting off topic.
Well, that's just kind of how my brain operates.
Yeah, well, that's fair. Yeah, you're a sports robot, some say.
And you're not?
Maybe just not on the level of you are, you know. It was like what Huge said about you, you know.
Oh, right, what Huge said.
Yes.
All right, let's hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, let me put my sports robot impression on here because I got to give you all the updates on what's going on in the sports world with the news. What we missed earlier, I don't know if you saw this, Ben. Weird stuff. Sean McVay tore his plantar fascia while coaching the Rams game over the Titans last week. It's in his foot. He tore basically a ligament in his foot during the game. They said he said he's going to be fine. Like, it's not going to be anything that has to make him not be on the sideline or anything. But the rare coach injury during the game.
That's mind-blowing. Who else did not the Vikings, the Timberwolves coach, Chris Finch. This happened.
Yeah, that's right.
But he got
Chris
really
Finch
banged up.
He tore his ACL, I think.
Yeah.
I
don't mean to laugh, but it's just like, how can you not? It's just funny.
It is kind of funny. I mean, yeah, it definitely. Remember, okay, this is really a throwback. Remember when Georgia State and R.J. Hunter hit that buzzer beater over Baylor in the March Madness? And R.J. Hunter, who played for the Celtics, his dad was the coach, and he was on that like scooter, and and Hunter hits the three, and he just flies off of his scooter because it was like a crazy game winner.
I remember that.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Hopefully McVay, obviously, he said he's going to be all good. He's a tough guy, so that's good news there. Here's what I was mentioning to earlier, and I wanted to wait to bring it up till after we did the Tush Push thing, but Jordan Mailata yesterday morning on Philly Talk Radio says, quote, "I understand the outrage over the Tush Push. What I don't understand is people using it as an excuse to why we won the game. I think it's completely disrespectful and rubbish to our defense and our special teams who balled out."
Huh.
So like this is a league-wide thing right now that people are pretty upset about the Tush Push. Even Mailata says, "I understand the frustration over it, but that's not why we won the game."
No, he's right. That's not why they won the game. I just want it to be officiated properly.
Yeah.
Call players for offside. Like, I'd like to see the Eagles called for a false start. Back them up and tell them, you can do the Tush Push. We passed this to happen, but you have to abide by the rules. And the rules are you can't line up offsides and you can't false start because the guards do a false start every single play.
That's just like a rule of football, too, you know? Maybe follow it. Okay, a bunch of baseball news here. Shohei Ohtani yesterday becomes the first player in MLB history to hit 50 home runs and strike out 50 batters in a season. He went 5 no-hit innings yesterday, actually, on the mound. And then, of course, like typical 2025 LA Dodgers, bullpen blows the game. They lose to the Phillies. But 50-50, first player to ever do it. Good stuff.
Incredible. He really is. He really is incredible.
MLB is going to send the Yankees and the Blue Jays overseas to John's favorite place, London, England, next year for a series. Of course, to send the guys from Canada over to England. But yeah, that should be pretty cool. Yankees, Blue Jays. And then Rob
next
Manfred,
year?
Yeah, next season, yeah.
Huh.
And then this was announced, this was like sneaky in the whole ESPN New Deal thing, that ESPN actually opted out of having Sunday Night Baseball over the next 3 seasons in 26, 27, and 28, and the Home Run Derby. They're not going to be doing Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN anymore, or the Derby. Rob Manfred announced yesterday that they are nearing a new broadcast deal with NBC for the Wild Card Series.
Man,
Sunday night.
NBC is cooking.
Yes, which this will be obviously, hopefully on traditional NBC and not just exclusive to Peacock.
Wait, I already have a problem, though. What happens
NBC
this
doesn't do
time of the
baseball.
year when there's Sunday Night Football and Sunday Night Baseball?
and
One of those is going on Peacock. Yeah, one of those is going on
Yes,
Peacock
exactly.
for sure. Well, so now NBC has the 3 majors, don't they?
Yeah, because they're back into baseball and
basketball
this season. Well, it'll be baseball next season. Yes.
Wow. I might have to get Peacock.
Everybody's trying to get their leg in on this stuff. So yeah, they'll have the Wild Card Series of the playoffs, Sunday Night Baseball, and the All-Star Game, or the Home Run Derby, excuse me. So that's it for that. We got some injury news in baseball. Yordan Alvarez, we talked about his injury. He's going to be out, quote, a while, coming from Houston, so that's bad news for them. He might be out for the entire playoffs. Bo Bichette on another playoff team in the American League, Toronto, he is going to miss the remainder of the regular season, but looks to return in October. So good chance the Tigers will face up against one of those teams at some point, and they're going to be without some of their better players. Yeah. A couple more things on the news here. Your boy, Patty Mahomes. It's his birthday. He's 30 today. Doesn't that make you feel kind of old?
Yes, because it feels.
30?
I know, because it feels like this guy just entered the league and started taking the league by storm yesterday. But then I look back and I'm like, man, I was like a junior in high school when he did that.
Feels like he just threw them 50 touchdown passes in his first real year as the starter, and then next thing you know, he's 30 years old. Crazy stuff. All right, I saved this for last because no one really cares. The West Michigan Whitecaps have won the Midwest League Tigers affiliate, High A affiliate, and their single A affiliate, the Lakeland Flying Tigers, won the Florida State League yesterday. So
It's because the Tigers prioritize winning at these levels.
Right, yeah, maybe the Tigers can call up the 14 guys that are on rehab assignment with West Michigan now that the season's over.
Is Dylan Smith still there?
I don't know. I truly hope not. But that would
almost
would
seems like
shock-
cheating.
That would shock no one. But yes, the Midwest League came to a close last night with the Whitecaps taking it. Okay.
All right. 989-837-6125. We've got 2 traditions close at every show, including making some money. That's when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live right here on 100.9 The Mid. If you've got boring floors or sad showers, Premier Tile & Stone is here to rescue your surfaces from the snooze zone. These folks turn tile into art. Kitchens, bathrooms, backsplashes, fireplaces. If it holds still, they'll tile it beautifully. Locally owned in Midland, but their work looks like it belongs in a magazine that charges $15 an issue. Giant selection of fancy stuff. I'm talking porcelain, ceramic, natural stone. Materials you probably can't even pronounce, but you'll definitely love it. Stop dreaming, start scheming. Visit the showroom and let your inner interior designer run wild. That's Premier Tile & Stone, where your floors get fabulous and grout gets glorious.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid. Fall is for planting, and Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center is making it the best time of year to grow. For a limited time, enjoy 40% off select trees, shrubs, and perennials. That's pretty much their entire plant inventory. So whether you're adding curb appeal, refreshing your garden, or planting for the future, they've got the quality, selection, and savings you've been waiting for. Don't miss the fall planting sale at Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center, where your garden begins to grow. Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center, growing with you this fall.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
Get ready, Michigan. Field of Frames Fest presented by Dow is taking over Dow Diamond September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros for a 3-day festival like no other. Watch elite teams battle in high-stakes competition, the Valorant Collegiate Invitational and Rocket League Semi-Pro Showdown, each with $10,000 prize pools, a $5,000 Super Smash Bros. Open tournament, and a 17U Fortnite Youth Tournament with $1,000 up for grabs. There's live music, entertainment, and activities for all ages, plus educational panels and hands-on workshops for those interested in tech, business, and gaming industries. Tickets start at just $25, and kids 10 and under get in free. Don't miss your chance to be part of a landmark event. Visit fieldofFramesFest.com to grab your tickets today. Field of Frames. Experience the element of gaming.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's a Tri-Valley Conference matchup this Friday. The 3-0 John Glenn Bobcats out of Bay City face the 2-1 Swan Valley Vikings from Saginaw. Pre-game coverage at 6:50 on Friday.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt.
Let's go! Get him going!
Mondays this football season when you want the NFL.
I got your back! I got your back! I got your back! I got your back! We're going to the Super Bowl.
It's right here.
Let's make this thing happen. Come on.
We've got Monday Night Football all season long.
We got a big one coming up, guys.
The Lions are on the Mitt. Detroit faces the Baltimore Ravens on M&F. Coverage starts 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think the Lions ran up the scoreboard on Ben Johnson on purpose to rub it in. I think the Lions' defense is just scratching the surface on becoming a dominant top 10 unit. I think Bryce Underwood is a future Heisman winner, but not quite yet. And I think Tarek Skubal is less than a month away from becoming the best Tigers pitcher of the 21st century. Oh, and I think if you agree or disagree with anything I just said, you should listen to The Ben Bosscher Show, live from 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt, built by Bresky Siding and Repair.
Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation, that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Now one, but two traditions to close out the show. The first of those being our Lock of the Day.
Lock of the Day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
What's that, 3 in a row? What's that? Is that 3 in a row?
Oh, my G. It's 3 in a row, Ben.
We're hot.
Yeah, you're getting hot. 3 in a row. The record for you is 4 days in a row. And I recall a time ago when you were on that hot streak, you got a little bit greedy.
Is that
went
the torque
for
home run
something
day?
crazy, the torque home run. So I'm interested to see, how you operate this time. But yeah, you've been doing pretty good. Most of the time, though, like I said, when you get hot like this, it's immediately followed by a worse losing streak. So I'm interested to see, once this does come to an end, how you respond from it.
I've gotten hot here twice, though, haven't I?
Yeah, you went on a 4-game win streak, and then it was followed up by 4 straight losses. And then
so
now you've gotten hot. You've just kind of been like, it hasn't really gone back and forth. But yeah, you've 3 in a row, so you are up now nearly a 1.5 units on the month of September. 1.45 units up. You're 1.75 units up just on this week. 18.39 down all time. But yeah, 2-0 on the week. What do you got cooking up this week?
I'm going back to the Tigers game.
Okay.
I'm taking Jack Flaherty K's. He had 8 of them against Cleveland earlier on this year. He's done very well against Cleveland. Cleveland's just not a good hitting team. They're just not. 29th in OPS across the league. I think once you get Jack Flaherty on the mound, a guy who's going to attack the strike zone and basically just say, here, hit this. Even with Jack Flaherty's struggles this year, I think this is actually a good matchup for him against this Cleveland team. So I am taking Flaherty's K's over 5.5. All he needs is 6 of them. He's averaging 6 against Cleveland in his Tigers uniform over the past couple of seasons. So I'll take Flaherty K's here.
Yeah, it's always tough, too, just because Flaherty it just depends on how long he goes in the game.
Yeah.
It feels like if he does get to 5 innings, he's guaranteed to strike out 6. It's just getting to 5 innings is obviously the tricky part. Yesterday's, by the way, the over 8 runs was looking pretty sketch.
I didn't think that was going to hit.
And then as soon as it went to extras, it was like, oh, yeah, this is for sure going to hit because each team is at least going to score a run with the extra base runner. And it hit right away as soon as it went to extra innings. So shout out to Kerry Carpenter for saving you there.
Shout out to Kerry Carpenter. I thought about some of his props, but then righty on the mound, it's like, how many at-bats is Kerry actually going to get? Probably going to get pinch hit. That's why I don't like doing the player props for the Tigers anymore. So I went with Jack Flaherty, strikeouts. All right, that is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right, next one. What's Colin going to open with today? Wednesday. No Tuesday night football, so nothing obvious here. Nothing crazy in the news either. What do you got for us? Whose turn is it to go first?
Today would be my turn to go first. Episode 76 today, like the Philadelphia basketball team. 16-13 is the score. Yesterday we were both wrong, which it felt like a really good opportunity for someone to get a point. You nearly picked it. It was Baker Mayfield lead yesterday.
Oh, so close.
Which was cool. You discussed taking that. You decided to go Jim Harbaugh Chargers route. I think I don't even remember what I did. I did the Tom Brady Raiders stuff. What a bad pick, by the way, looking back at it. Just bad stuff from me. Okay, 16-13, it's my pick first. These are the tougher days because it's like, okay, does he do a little bit of preview for Thursday night? Like, is there some Josh Allen thing cooking up? Because I don't know. This is bad. I'm gonna go with the Tush Push. Why not? Why not? He's already did a Chiefs-Eagles type open earlier in this week on Monday, but sure, why not? I'm going to go with a Tush Push lead today.
I like that. That's really good. I'm actually going with Tom Brady.
Oh, you're just going to do it a day later?
Yeah, I think there's some real juice here because we got the Ian Rappaport piece this morning from NFL.com of what Brady is and isn't allowed to do and how he's not actually violating any league rules, but it's like, okay, he's not violating league rules because we've never been in this scenario before. There's never been an owner who's also been a broadcaster, so there's not any rules that were previously in play. I feel like there just needs to be some rules put in place. Or he just can't do one of them. Like, the Fox gave him $300 million, but he also owns this team. It's like, I feel like you have to just pick one of these. It doesn't feel right that he can do both.
No, it truly doesn't. It definitely has got some weird juice to it. I was looking this up because I'm pretty sure Troy Aikman was involved in something like this in years past as well. Or there was definitely another guy that was in a similar situation to what Tom Brady is right now. And I'm not going to be able to find it before the show ends, so maybe that's something I'll do afterwards. But, yeah, this is it's uncharted territory, to say the least.
It's weird, to say the least. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. All right. that's pretty much going to do. What did you say the score was for?
16-13, you have the lead. So I've closed the gap at least as tight as it's been in quite some time, but still a good lead for you.
All right. Appreciate everyone for tuning in today. Kyle and I are going to go golfing. Do you want to do an over/under on your score? Not that literally anybody cares, but just
right.
Why
well,
not?
I haven't broken 100 since the earlier time I did it this summer, so I will put it at 99.5 because my goal is to break 100 again. So I think 99.5 is a good line.
I really think I can do it this summer. I really think I can do it.
I'm still driverless, by the way. I'm still going 3-wood off the tee box, which I don't hate. I like my 3-wood. I just can't put it very far.
Do you think if you had a driver, you could easily crack 100?
No, it probably would be worse because I would be going OB much more often.
I think I can do it today. Today's the day I think I can crack 100. But realistically, the over-under is 105.
Like 104.5?
Are you just saying other radio stations now?
104.5? That's like that's the line?
Dude, why are you giving other radio station shout-outs? Yeah. All right. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.